Say my name. If no one is around you, say baby I love you. If you ain't running game, say my name. You acting kinda shady, ain't calling me baby. Why the sudden change? Say my name. If no one is around you, say baby I love you. If you ain't running game, say my name. You acting kinda shady, ain't calling me baby. Better say my name. The other day I would call, you would say, baby how's your day? But today it ain't the same. Every other word is a yeah okay. Could it be that you are at the crib with another lady? If you took it there, first of all, let me say, I am not the one to sit around and be played. So prove yourself to me. If I'm the girl that you claim, why don't you say the things that you said to me yesterday? I know you said that I was doing things. Something's going down, that's the way it seems. Shouldn't be the reason why you acting strange. Nobody's holding you back from me. 'Cause I know how you used to do. When you're saying everything to me times two. Why can't you just tell the truth? If somebody's dead, then tell me who. Say my name, say my name. Say my name is around you. Say baby I love you. Say my name, say my name. Kinda shady, ain't calling me baby. Say my name, say my name. If no one is around you, say baby I love you. If you ain't running game, say my name. You acting kinda shady, ain't calling me baby. Better say my name. What's up with this? Tell the truth, who you with? How would you like it if I came over with my clique? Don't try to change it now. See you gotta bounce when 2 seconds ago said you just got in the house. It's hard to believe that you are at home by yourself when I just heard the voice of someone else. Just this question, why do you feel you gotta lie? Getting caught up in your game when you cannot say my name. I know you say that I was doing things. Something's going down, that's the way it seems. Shouldn't be the reason why you acting strange. If nobody's holding you back from me, 'cause I know how you used to do. When you're saying everything to me, don't you? Why can't you just tell the truth? If somebody's dead, then tell me who. Say my name, say my name. Say baby I love you. Say my name, say my name. Calling me baby. Sudden change. Say my name. Even doesn't change. Baby I love you. You ain't running baby. Say my name. Acting kinda shady. Calling me baby.
My ladies,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
can you say that? Come on.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
All the girls say
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
All ladies say
Yeah, 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 yeah.
All the girls say
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
break it down.
Oh.
DC, take it to the bridge. Come
I
on.
know you say that I was doing things. Something's going down, that's the way it seems. Shouldn't be the reason why you acting strange. Nobody's holding you back from me. 'Cause I know how you used to do. When you're saying everything to me times two. Why can't you just tell the truth? If somebody's dead, then tell me who. Say my name, say my name. No one is around you. Baby, I love you. Call me yours. Say my name, say my name. You tell me what you like to do. Calling me baby. Sudden change. Say my name, say my name. If no one is around you, say baby I love you. You ain't running game. Say my name, say my name. You acting kinda shady. Calling me baby. Say my name, say my name. If no one is around you, say baby I love you. Say my name, say my name. Say my name. Kinda shady. Calling me baby. Sudden change. Say my name. If no one is around you, say baby I love you. You ain't running game. Say my name. You acting kinda shady. Calling me baby. Ever say my name.
Yeah, this one right here goes out to all the babies, mamas. Baby mamas. Yeah, go like this.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times.
My baby is drama, mama. Don't like me. She doing things like having the boys come from her neighborhood to the studio trying to fight me. She need to get a piece of American pie and take her bite out. That's my house. I disconnect the cable and turn the lights out. And let her know her grandchild is a baby and not a paycheck. Private school, daycare, shit, medical bills, I pay that. I love your mom and everything. See, I ain't the only one who lay down. She wanna rip you up and start a custody war. My lawyer, stay down. She never got a chance to hear my side of the story. We was divided. She had fish fries and cookouts for my child's birthday. I ain't invited. Despite it, I show her the utmost respect when I fall through. All you do is defend that lady when I call you.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. Me and your daughter got a special thing going on. You say it's puppy love. We say it's full grown. Hope that we feel this way forever. You can plan a pretty picnic, but you can't predict the weather. Miss Jackson.
10 times out of 9, now if I'm lying, fine. The quickest muzzle, throw it on my mouth and I'll decline. King meets queen, then the puppy love thing. Together dream about that crib with the good yeah swing. On the oak tree, I hope we feel like this forever. Forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. Forever never seems that long until you're grown. And notice that the day-by-day ruler can't be too wrong. Miss Jackson, my intentions were good. I wish I could become a magician to abracadabra all the sadder. Thoughts of me, thoughts of she, thoughts of he. Asking what happened to the feeling that her and me had. I pray so much about it, need some knee pads. It happened for a reason, one can't be mad. So know this, know that everything's cool. And yes, I will be present on the first day of school and graduation.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times.
Look at the way he treats me. Shit, look at the way you treat me. See your little nose ass homegirls and got your ass sent up the creek, G. Without a pad on, you left the straddle and ride this thing on out. And the union girl ain't speaking no more cause my dick all in, I'm out. I'm talking about jealousy, infidelity, envy, cheating, beating, and the N to the G, they be the same thing. But who you placing the blame on? You keep on singing that same song. Let bygones be bygones. You can go and get the hell on you and your mom.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times.
Alright. Peace and Black Power, family. It's your boy Psychopath and your girl Renee. Black at you. Now I mean, with another RBG pill show. What's really hood out there, family? Now I mean, let's get some ones out there. Let's make sure y'all gave me clear. I believe y'all can, but you know we gotta double check on these things. But yeah, let me get some shout outs while I'm waiting. Let's see. Shout out to Rashid. What's good? Shout out to Pookie. Shout out to Almond Eyes. Shout out to Nappy Yankee. A Hamilton. New Possibilities. A Shabazz. I Am Aries. To Chew. Nisi, Faulkner, let's see, shout out to everybody else out there that might be listening or slide through. We good? Okay, that's what's up. All right. Yeah, Renee, what's going on with you? How you tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm all right. You know, absorbing some of the fuckery, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said on my Wake and Bake, this fuckery kind of exceeds, you know, what the normal, you know, bullshit that go on YouTube. But yeah, what's good though?
I wonder why. But anyway, now everything's good. Peace to the chat. Peace to everybody who's listening. I appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all. If you can, please share the show. But yeah, we're gonna get it in this good Tuesday evening. We're gonna get it in, you know. Y'all already know what it is, you know, like Psycho said, you know, it's some effery. Unless you've been under a rock in, you know, Black YouTube world, Black social media world for sure, Black gender banging world, you know about what's going on with old boy. So we're gonna get into that tonight. So yeah.
Yeah, you want to set it off. You want to start off, give the skitty, and I don't know where you want to start off at. Okay.
Well, yeah, Psycho did his Wake and Bake on Saturday. I'm pretty sure some of y'all was in there. You know, he was going ham. You know, because and rightfully so. But yeah, so basically y'all know who we talking about tonight. Y'all see it in the title. Y'all see it on the dang on thumbnail. Derrick Jaxn, Mr. Derrick Jaxn. Sorry, Miss Jackson. You damn right. You sorry. This little woman sitting up here looking sorry as hell. Looking crazy as hell. Anyway.
The question is he for real? The question is he for real? That's the question.
Now the song say, I am for real. So, like you said, but we don't know if he's for real. But anyway, so yeah, y'all. So Derrick Jaxn basically got exposed by Miss Tasha K this past weekend. And, you know, she was very bold in coming out at that time because it hadn't been a lot of receipts or anything like that being put out there. I mean, she put them out there, some out there on her show. But if any of y'all watch Tasha K, you know, from time to time, or some of y'all may watch regularly, you know, she's definitely been accused of having fake receipts or lying about receipts and stuff like that. But if you notice on a lot of stories that I've seen her do, she's overly saying allegedly, you know, she makes sure to keep saying that, you know. But in the situation with Derrick Jaxn, or no, that was Friday, I'm sorry. She did the stream. She was not going ham with the allegedly. Like she was pretty bold and just kind of like saying, this is what it is, like this is what happened. So that in itself, I kind of was like, okay, it sounds like it's about right. Then, you know, she was saying the receipts would be on her Patreon or whatnot. Then the next day she did another stream, or Sunday, I think it was. She was bringing out another lady and everything. And so Derrick Jaxn was quiet for the most part after whatever happened Friday night, and then Saturday. I think earlier Sunday he did the little apology thing at first. But clearly she was correct. Clearly homegirl Candace, which is the one who called in on Tasha K's show and set it off, clearly she was telling the truth, because he had to go ahead and cop to it. So basically, social media has been going crazy. Everybody's been going ham. You got the people who are calling him out, rightfully so. Then you got other people that's trying to call this woman out, which is crazy as hell to me. And we're going to get into that. Like, I think that's just the craziest thing. But anyway, so I am going to read this article though real quick, just to give a little further breakdown. And then we're going to get it in, y'all. We're going to get it in. So this comes from Metro, and relationship guru Derrick Jaxn admits to cheating on his wife, not in alignment with the vows I took. All right. Relationship guru Derrick Jaxn has admitted to cheating on his wife of 4 years. The self-proclaimed relationship expert, and we definitely getting it in on that, has amassed a following of 750,000 on YouTube and 1.3 million on Instagram, where he shares advice and promotes healthy relationships, y'all. After a woman claimed in an interview that she had an affair with Jaxn, the vlogger posted a video titled, "Did I Cheat in My Marriage? The Truth?" in which he confessed to having sex with other women. In the video, which saw Jaxn holding hands with his wife, D.A.B.A.T.E, he said, "This chapter of our marriage is one that was preceded by a marriage that I completely failed." The truth is, and I'm saying it here now, is that Derrick Jaxn was involved with other women outside the marriage. And by involved, I want to be clear. I'm not talking about just casually kicking it, maybe having lunch or something like that. I'm talking about as serious as sex. Notice how he's wording this, y'all. As serious as sex to sexual flirtation and meeting up and that kind of thing. Boy, bye. And some things that otherwise may be considered by some in terms of just chatting or checking on people or being checked on by people that I've had a previous encounter with, but without my wife's knowledge of it and with us having a sexual history. All of it falls under the umbrella of inappropriate cheating affairs, stepping out. Definitely not in alignment with the vows that I took, and definitely not in the line with the biblical standard, y'all, of what it means to be faithful. The 31-year-old claimed that he has now given his wife a, quote, roll call list of every woman he has been involved with, and said he does not stand by those actions. And just side note, that's so funny to me when he said in that video, the one with her with the bonnet and all that or whatever. And I gave her a roll call of any woman I've even said. Like, you act like you doing somebody a favor. Like, what do you mean you was out here cheating? Like, anyway. He said that he understood if followers felt they could no longer listen to his relationship advice, but thanks anybody who still wanted to support him. Getting her chance to tell her side of the story, D.A.B.A.T.E, who has 2 children with her husband, said, "There is no justification for bringing other women into our marriage on any level. It was unacceptable, and it's not something that I tolerate or we tolerate moving forward." She explained that when she found out Jaxn had cheated, she left him, saying, "I stayed gone and stood firm on, I'm not coming back. I did not come back until I saw a shift and change in his mentality. I forgave him, and most importantly, God has forgiven him, and I have forgiven the others as well." In a live chat shared later, D.A.B.A.T.E said that she filed for divorce, but they are now back together and living in the same home with their kids. Jaxn also admitted that prior to them rekindling an on-off relationship in 2016, their romance had ended with cheating on his cheating on his part. Jaxn's video has been criticized online due to his reference to himself in the third person, as well as deny joining him for the video. And so then they just had like a lot of people's comments off of social media or whatnot. Speculation about Jaxn's marriage began earlier this month when a woman named Candace DeMedros alleged to blogger Tasha K that she had an affair with him. DeMedros claimed that she visited his home and took a trip to Miami with the vlogger in June, and claimed that Jaxn told her that he had separated from his wife. Prior to this, the Truth video, Jaxn uploaded a separate solo video in which he claimed that he had been separated from D.A.B.A.T.E during his apparent affairs. Saying they split in February 2020, he said, "June, we talking about my birthday. She basically lets me know there's no plan for her to be around on my birthday. Okay, now I'm in screw it mode, F it mode. I'm hitting up old chicks. I really don't care at this point. I don't care about my reputation. I don't care about the business. I don't care about any of that." Jaxn has made a name for himself off of his relationship guidance videos and has also written a number of books, including one called A Cheating Man's Heart. He got A Cheating Man's Heart, y'all, and A Cheating Man's Heart #2. So he's got 2 books on this. But anyway, so that's the article. I think though Psycho was gonna go ahead and play the short video of him and his wife, the one that, definitely everybody's been talking about, the one that's on the thumbnail.
Yeah. We can go ahead and play that now, and then we'll come right back and we'll discuss it. So let's get into it, family. Let's go.
What's going on, guys? Derrick Jaxn here, and today I am joined by my lovely wife, Renee. And we just wanted to address a couple of things. We understand that some of you may have already heard, maybe not, that this chapter of our marriage is one that was preceded by a marriage that I completely failed. And I would say it just started around August, maybe September of last year. But, a lot has been said already about what was the cause and all that other stuff. Some of it is true, some of it is completely false. But the truth is, and I'm saying it here now, is that Derrick Jaxn was involved with other women outside the marriage. And by involved, I want to be clear, I'm not talking about just casually kicking it, maybe a lunch or something like that. I'm talking about as serious as sex, to sexual flirtation and meeting up and that kind of thing. And some things that otherwise may be considered okay by some in terms of like just chatting or checking on people or being checked on by people that I've had a previous encounter with. But without my wife's knowledge of it and with us having a sexual history, all of it falls under the umbrella of inappropriate, cheating, affair, stepping out, definitely not in alignment with the vows that I took, and definitely not in alignment with the biblical standard of what it means to be faithful, which is the standard that I'm going by now. Now, I'm saying this publicly, not because I'm, married to you guys. First and foremost, I'm accountable to God. Then I have to be accountable to my wife, in which we've already had this conversation. I've already told her literally everything. I've given her basically a roll call list. If I've said hello to a woman in the last 12 years of me knowing her, she knows about it. But now that it's been made so public, it's important that I first off let you guys know I do not stand by those actions. I don't want to encourage anybody to do that. And then secondly, I know that I cannot build a platform preaching certain things, preaching against certain things, and then in my real life live contrary to that for any amount of time or any length of time to any extent, and think that I can't be held accountable. The same way that I preach, men and women in this situation need to face consequences of their actions, deserve to be held accountable. Guess what? Derrick Jaxn's no exemption. He's not exempt from that. I'm also not a victim. Nobody made me do this. She didn't make me or push me to do it. The next person didn't make me. No friend influenced me. It don't matter how I was raised and what trauma, whatever. Look, I made decisions. I made a series of decisions that I gotta account for. There's no excuse or justification. I've already made that bet and have had to lie in it. And now we're finally getting on to the other side personally in our own healing, in our own marital oneness. And now this is being made public to you guys, so we're bringing that forth to you guys to let you know where we're at with that. But did you want to say anything?
Yes, so I do want to just add that I agree with what he just said. There is no justification for bringing other women into our marriage on any level. And it was unacceptable. And it's not something that I tolerate or that we tolerate moving forward. And when I've been flooded again with messages and these things and about, I need to leave or why haven't I left? And the answer is, when I found out about it, I left. I did not hesitate or waste time to do so. And I stayed gone. No matter how many times he came, I stayed gone and stood firm on, I am not coming back. And I did not come back until I seen a shift and a change in his mentality and how he carried himself and how he presented himself and conversations that we were able to have that we had never been able to have in just 12 years of knowing each other. And when we were able to have these dialogues, said, okay, Lord, this is something that you've had your hand on. And this was with me being completely removed from his life. And him pursuing God, continuing to pursue God, and continuing to eliminate these things that led up to the catastrophe that you guys are seeing for the first time. So there's nothing out there right now that is information that I don't already know about or haven't known about. And so this is not something that is new. We have moved forward from it. We have gotten counsel for it and continue to do so. He is still continuing to pursue God and continuing to seek guidance and wise counsel from men of God. And that is what I needed for the continuation of me being present and in this marriage and to stand by his side. So today, where I'm at is at peace, and I proudly stand by his side, and I have no hesitation, I have no hurt, no shame about that. And it's only because of the grace of God and the mercy of God. And we have already turned a new chapter in this story. We are continuing to move forward, and we are just now sharing that with you all. And I forgave him, and most importantly, God has first forgiven him, and I also forgive the others as well. And with that, we are free and moving forward. So that's all I have.
Yeah. And I get it. Some of y'all, like, this may come as a huge shock, probably a huge disappointment. I let a lot of you down. If you've had a perspective shift on who Derrick is, hopefully it's away from anything remotely close to perfection, and it is simply that, I am a human, and that does not justify anything that I did. But I don't want anybody out there to be putting me on a pedestal. If you did, then I hate that you did that. Maybe I gave you cause for that, and I apologize if I did. For those who are saying, Derrick, I don't want to ever listen to you again, it's totally understandable. I appreciate you while I had your support and helping me get the message out about healing and healthy relationships to so many people who needed it, myself included. And for those who are going to continue to support, man, I appreciate you like never before, because I know it's not going to be easy going forward, at least for a little while so many things are still fresh and attached to my name. But for everybody out there, if you get nothing else from what I've ever said over the last 9 years or right here in this video, please get this. Nothing is right until it is right with God. Nothing works until it comes into alignment with biblical standard of how God told us to do things, especially when we're talking about a marital, spiritual covenant. Yes. You cannot do this by your own understanding, your own intelligence, your own willpower, your own values. You have to have the grace of God to break free from certain things, to stay away from certain things, to not operate from your lowest self, whatever it may be. And it's because it's really only by God's grace that we're even able to be here on this video, holding hands. Well, like a year ago, 7-8 months ago even, I couldn't see this happening. I thought it was over, and I already had begun establishing my relationship with God. But that's the fruit of bringing things in alignment with God. And the mess that's been made, the mess that's now being made public from last year and years past, that's a result of getting out of alignment with doing things God's way. So that's where I stand. That's where we stand. And again, we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you soon. Peace.
All right, family. And there y'all go. You know what I mean? That was they, excuse me, that was they video they did yesterday to, you know, kind of address all the things that he kind of denied on, what was that, Saturday? You know, I believe he went live on Saturday.
Or was it Saturday?
What's the day? Monday, right? No,
yeah.
Tuesday.
No, today's Tuesday. But
day Tuesday. Yeah, he went live. Yeah, yesterday was Monday. Yeah, Sunday he went live. Sunday he went live.
Yeah.
And he, you know, he kind of tap danced around it. And then this time he went live with his wifey, and he kind of just came all the way out full blown and kind of confessed everything. I'm gonna go ahead and let Renee go first because I read my mouth a lot on Saturday. So go ahead.
Yeah, and you're absolutely correct. His video from Sunday, it was kind of a different tone. It was still that level of bravado. It was still, you know, tap dancing, you know, not really taking accountability. You could tell though he was very nervous. He was still trying to peddle that book. He was showing the book in the damn stream he did Sunday. You know, and he was definitely not forthcoming about any actual sexual relations that happened on the other video. But let's get into this. So, okay, first I just want to give my quick opinion on Derrick Jaxn. And my thing is this. Like, me and Psycho, y'all just don't know. We be having our little things. We be having full-on debates and stuff like that. And we've definitely talked about him before. And Psycho could never stand him. A lot of y'all know that. Because he felt like he threw all black men under the bus. And, you know, Derrick Jaxn had some videos where he was uplifting men. He was, you know, telling the proper, you know, things as far as like what women should be doing, according to him, in terms of supporting men and all of those kinds of things and good men, et cetera, et cetera. He definitely pandered to women, no doubt about that. But, you know, I never follow him on social media. I've never shared anything that he said. I never put him on any type of pedestal. But I think here and there, I've heard a thing or two he said that I was like, okay, that's interesting or whatnot. But what happened is so many women put him up on this pedestal. And they made him, like Psycho would say, the unicorn. He may help make himself the unicorn. And they bought into it. You know, this idea that you can have this super fine, and I ain't saying he's super fine, but a lot of women feel he's super fine, but he's fine, you know. But you can have this super fine, you know, brother who's, you know, seemed like he got this, that, and the other lined up and in order. You know, he's making money, he's doing this and that, and be kind, supposedly, and loving, and faithful, and loyal, and committed, and a family man, and family oriented, that you could have all of these things in one, and, you know, nothing was really lacking in any direction. And so a lot of women bought into that idea or that fantasy of Derrick Jaxn. And, you know, that's what he played upon, clearly. You know, to boost himself, to line his pockets, to do what he needed to do. Now, I will say this. It's one thing for you to not know how a person is moving and how a person is getting down. And people may speculate, people may think, people may make assumptions, right? But it's another thing to know. And I am very disturbed by the women who now are still trying to make excuses for this man. Now, if these women were Team Jaxn and they was all about all things Derrick Jaxn all the time, right? And then they found out this stuff and was like, oh, okay, it's a wrap. That's one thing, right? Okay, cool. But then you have women who now they know that it's true. They know that it's real, and it's still okay with them. And that's why in that video he said it may be tough for a little while, because he knows that he will still have a basis of Black women that will support him, that will rock with him. And one of those reasons is religion. We're going to get into that in a minute. Okay. But he knows that's still going to be the case. And he plays upon it. Another reason is insecurity from a lot of those women. We'll get into that too. But he knows, like, this too shall pass. Like, I'm going to be able to still leverage a certain type of career or whatnot eventually. And they still gonna take me back and rock with me. And that's part of his narcissism, because, you know, the term narcissist has been thrown around a lot in terms of Derrick Jaxn. And just real quick, a definition of a narcissist is a person who has an excessive interest in or admiration of themselves. Essentially, narcissists are people who think the world revolves around them. So it's pretty clear he has that type of mentality. And he played upon the fact that a lot of women, not all women, but a lot of women in general feel like they want to be heard by men. So he had a lot of titles that played upon that. You know, it played upon a lot of questions that women would ask themselves about their man or men in general in their mind, or things that they wish they could know or whatever. And so women definitely want to be heard. And he knows that, and he knew that, and he took advantage of that, and he did it to the nth degree to all of the really insecure women who really, really put him on pedestal. And or put him on a pedestal. So Derrick Jaxn is no fool. He's no fool. And now that it's out there, now that it's in the open, and it is confirmed by him even that he's been cheating, that he's not the man that he tried to make y'all believe he was, but he was the man that he told y'all to not be with. Okay? So now people can't claim ignorance. Now people can't claim, well, ain't nobody got proof. That's just what people think. No, now it's what we know. So I wanted to say that about Derrick Jaxn. You know, he's the worst type. He's definitely a manipulator. And anybody who's really passive about this situation, you know, I don't know what to tell you. But let's be clear, right? People were trying to say, like, people were trying to call the woman Candace out. And here's the problem with that. Candace ain't got nothing to do with nothing, period. This is about Derrick Jaxn, okay? Derrick Jaxn amassed a following, a fan base, and a consumer base, all built off of him being the good guy. Okay? Him giving relationship advice from the perspective of the good guy. Okay? He did that. Candace didn't do that. So she doesn't, like, what is she supposed to answer for? Not only that, hello, he's the one married. Like, you ain't even got to get to everything else. He's the married one here. He's married. He took the vow, not her. So why do people want to keep talking this stuff about, well, you know, this woman did that and she knew he was married? Well, yeah, she knew he was married, but what do that got to do with the price of tea in China? Now, if people want to have separate, distinct conversations at a later time about women having certain mentalities like that, that's one thing. But if we're talking in the context of this situation, this has nothing to do with Candace. This has everything to do with Derrick Jaxn, and he needs to be getting all the smoke because he got all the followers. He got all the fan base. He's the one who said he was this, that, and the other. Let's be clear. Something else I noticed, right? They never really talked about what caused them to separate in the first place. Because the way in which this is being framed is that, okay, she was telling him, I'm not going to be around for your birthday. And they was already beefing or having some issues. And she was, wanting to leave or whatever, right? But what caused that though? Because then he was saying that, he told her everything that ended up happening, what he did with Candace or whoever and whatever other women and this, that, and the other. But they're not addressing the original stuff though, right? Because it was other stuff that happened to create the situation where she wants to leave. To create the situation where you was kicking it with Candace on your birthday and not with your wife. So he really kind of stayed away from that. In his video Sunday, he tried to somewhat allude to talking about, well, we were talking to other people or dealing with other people. Not saying my wife, not saying that it was another man or anything. He threw that in there. You know what I'm saying? To try to make her look bad. And that shows you how low down and dirty he really is. Because even though he was out here doing the most, he gonna try to somewhat insinuate that, but then gonna try to renege on it though. Well, which one is it? Which one is it? Or did you just throw that out there, as a way to possibly lessen, things that you've done so that people can just speculate, But anywho, so I just really noticed that they didn't address that. He never really addressed that part of it. Because when Candace said, he had told her that, oh, we're separated. And when Candace went to the house and she said all of his wife's stuff was there and this, that, and the other, whatever. Okay, what caused that? So let's be clear. He has a video where he's saying, cheaters, when they get caught, that's not their first time cheating. Right? And that, this is a pattern of behavior. Did you say something? Oh, that this is a pattern of behavior that people do, right? So it's so funny to me how he's trying to act like, even in his cheating, and Psycho calls him the unicorn, he's trying to act like a unicorn in his cheating.
Finish him.
Peep that. He's trying to act like the unicorn of cheating. Like, oh, well, this was just not necessarily a one-time thing, but a one period thing, right? We went through this period, and within that period, I was in effort mode. So for that period, I did certain, man, cut it out, dude. You've been cheating all along. This ain't nothing new. Anytime when somebody gets caught cheating, it's highly unlikely that's their first time. People rarely get caught their first time. Okay? And that's on a lot of stuff. That's just like in terms of people committing crimes, certain crimes. A lot of times people don't get caught the first time. And that's how you embolden it, you keep doing it. So let's not play that game. This really irritates me, right? When people say things like what he said in that clip Psycho just played, I'm human. He said, I'm a human. No, really, you don't say. That kills me. I hate when people do that. That is a deflection tactic. That is a, trying to appeal to sympathy in people. That is a way to try to lessen your accountability for things. When you say something like, I'm human. Yeah, nobody said you wasn't a human. What, people said you was an alien? Nobody said that. Like, why do you need to say I'm a human? Unless you are seeking people to have sympathy for you, unless you are seeking a lessening of accountability, because we all make mistakes. No, really? Like, these are things that go without saying. Like, people already know that. People know you human. People know people make mistakes. Yeah, all that. Anywho, That has nothing to do with anything. That has nothing to do with anything. That's you trying to, hey, look over there. See, I'm human. So then people just say, well, yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, we all sin, right? We've all sinned, if you want to be on a religious tip, or, we've all done wrong, so, that's true. Like, dude, you saying that to manipulate. You saying that to manipulate, period. Chris Rock said something, and me and Psycho have done shows and talked about plenty of times, like, certain ways, like Chris Rock's stand-up has been like detrimental. Certain things, like that whole idea of quote niggas versus black people thing. But Chris Rock said something in one of his stand-ups that a man is as faithful as his options, right? Now, that can be debated. All right, that can be debated. But let's think about this for a minute, right? You have a handsome man who is telling women what a lot of women want to hear, okay? Who's pandering to women, let's be clear, okay? And dealing with women all the time. His business is women, so to speak. Let's be clear, because he talks about how, a lot of these videos he claims are, from questions that women send in to him and things like that. So, including Candace, by the way, because she said she supposedly asked something about her friend. I'm like, girl, no, you asking that about him to him. Let's be real. But anywho, but so you have, women that are, inboxing him all the time, that are messaging him. He does those meetup things, pre-COVID and all that. He does seminars, right? He goes on shows, women's show. He went on like the Sister Circle when that was on, like went on there talking to women. So he's around women all the time. He's talking to women all the time, constantly, right? And we're supposed to believe that everything is as it seems, when on top of all that, you make an effort in many ways to hide your wife. Like, a lot of people know, but a lot of people don't know. So it's kind of like, you put it out there maybe just enough. And I also think that he probably started putting her out there more when there were more cheating allegations that came out, okay? Because people like him that are manipulators and narcissists, they don't do anything that's not self-serving. Like, let's be clear. If you know anything about narcissists, right? And let's say you with a for real narcissist, because sometimes that word is thrown around. Nowadays, sometimes people just throw it around because it's just kind of like a popular thing to do. But if you know anything about a narcissist, though, right? Let's say you're dealing with one, and they could be friend, family, or like intimate partner, and they did something wrong to you. They did something hurtful to you. And, you are like, you hurt me, or you disrespected me, or you did this, whatever. And they come back with some kind of apology. They come back and they're sending you flowers at work, or they're doing this or doing that. Understand that that's all self-serving, because a narcissist don't give a damn about your feelings. Okay? They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about your emotions, if that hurt you or whatever. It's about them, okay? So to me, I kind of think that him possibly putting certain things out there, like on the cover of that book, the wedding photos that he did put up or whatever, the photos that he did put up with them together, that was likely in response to her either threatening to leave or maybe even at one point threatening to expose him to some degree or whatever it is. I feel like he probably did that in response to that, just to preserve what he was doing. Just to, try to keep her right there to make him look better on a certain level, but still getting what he wants out of the deal. So narcissists don't do anything that's not self-serving. It has to serve them at the end of the day. And I think probably him getting married and everything, it'll be the same thing. That was self-serving to him in the sense of this would make me look better to people, because at some point, if you're such a relationship guru and you're claiming that, most things aren't really women's fault, okay, that most things are really men's fault, so then what's your reason for not being married then? Like, then why are you not married then? Like, people will start asking that. If you saying all these women are great women and it's really a lot of the men that are mostly the problem, okay, so why are you not with one of these great women? So to me, that whole thing was self-serving. And to talk about his wife and him, and I'm not, let me be clear, I'm not going to attack his wife or anything like that, because he's the one who's made himself the relationship expert, and like I said, he's amassed a following and a consumer base. Like, we can't forget that. Like, he sells products, y'all. Like, he has games he sells, he has books that he sells, he has seminars that he sells. I think he even may have had consultations or different things like that he may sell. So he's selling something, okay? So let's be clear about that. And in terms of his wife, I'm not, trying to attack her or anything like that, but I think some of that needs to be looked at, because a lot of this is a hustle too, okay? And a hustle that she's participating in. She's not a full-fledged victim in this situation. She's a participant, in my opinion, to a large degree, because this is a hustle. And I think it's afforded them a certain type of lifestyle, okay? And she's in on it because she know what kind of man she got. Like, you know the man you with better than anybody else know him. Like, that whole little facade thing. And I think that, and a lot has been said, like, about her appearance and stuff like that. And she's a pretty lady. I thought she was pretty in her wedding photos and stuff. And I think she's, not to use certain people's thing, but, she's an average woman or even above average looking woman. I don't think she's unattractive or anything like that at all. Okay. But she's not outgoing, very outgoing looks wise. Okay. Let me just say that. It's kind of like a matronly type vibe. And the reason why I'm pointing that out, it is not because of anything to really say about her, but it says something about her for sure, but it says a lot about him too. And I say that because Derrick Jaxn, part of his appeal is his look. Okay, let's keep it what it is. Let's call it a spade a spade. Part of his appeal are his looks, and he makes it an effort to be like, the workout dude, be buff and all that kind of stuff, and be muscular, and he's got the whole chocolate thing down and all of that kind of stuff, right? So a lot of times when you see men like that, and now he's got this money on top of that, you tend to see their women be on that same kind of vibe too. Like, you tend to see their women be, like having a, element of sex appeal and being, where people kind of universally would be like, wow, she's really pretty, or wow, she look good, or she bad, or she fine, or she a dime, or whatever. Like, typically you kind of see that. And so it's interesting that he put so much into his appearance he puts so much into his appearance, and then she really doesn't. So to me, that's very strategic. I think that's one of the reasons that he's really with her on a certain level. Not saying that he don't love her or care about her or whatever like that. I don't know about none of that. I'm just speaking from the outside looking in on what we now know and just observations. So for a woman to kind of like not really be on his level in terms of looks, that's strategic. That's intentional. And perhaps, and this is just me playing, psychologist or whatever, but perhaps a woman who he feel is not comparable to him per se on the looks thing would be more appreciative of having a man like him. Okay, in terms of having a man that's that fine or whatever, that may make her more appreciative of him. And then not only that, I think he likes that to kind of, keep her over here in the hole. So she's pretty matronly and everything from what I saw. So she's not really fixing herself up much. Certain men will probably find her attractive or, maybe speak to her on a certain level, but most men wouldn't make a beeline for her, if you get what I'm saying. So I feel like that's kind of a way to keep her. You want to say something, Psycho?
I was waiting for you to finish.
I think that's a way of kind of keeping her, pigeonholed to a degree, keeping her in a certain spot, keeping her appreciative that a man that look this good, that all these other women that's bad and fine and dime pieces will get with in a second, because the Candace chick is very beautiful. And that's the kind of chick he probably really want to be with for real. So that boosts his ego too, right? Of having her over here, but you can still get with the baddies and stuff too if you want to. So it's a way for him to have his cake and eat it too, and keep her in a position to where she's grateful. I'm so grateful to have this fine man, and for people to boo, because I'm pretty sure many people over the years or over time have said, dang, your man is fine, or like, that's your man, like that's for real, like I know she's probably heard that. So that might, and again, I don't know this lady, but that might spark a little level of insecurity in her. So then that will make her maybe more inclined to stay with him. So I think there's a whole strategy there, but I'm gonna pause because Psycho want to talk, even though after he said he went in Sunday, but I'm gonna pause and I'll come back with, some more of my opinion on this whole thing. But go ahead, Psycho.
Yeah, just give me a little bit of time. You can get back into his looks in a minute. I want to dissect the actual video, right? But family, this pretty much was what I kind of expected once I realized, they actually did a stream together and everything else. I heard what Renee just said. I don't think she's a bad looking woman. Let me say that. I know people are ripping the shit. The internet is savage. Let me put that out there. The internet is completely savage. Y'all motherfuckers ain't playing no games out here. The fucking memes that I've been seeing out here. Y'all motherfuckers over here. Some of the shit I saw, I was chuckling my motherfucking ass off. I said, y'all motherfuckers need to stop. But that's exactly I saw this shit, I was like, yo, that's so on point. That's so on point, because that's how I felt when I was looking at this video. Like, you motherfuckers gotta be shitting me over here. What is this? Like, Did she not take a motherfucking, like, seriously? Like, most motherfuckers don't even know you fucking exist, right? Most motherfuckers don't even know you exist. You know, most motherfuckers were shocked to find out he was even married. But then, you know, come on now. I mean, you ain't have, I'm not saying you had to, you know, look like you was going out to a 5-star restaurant and no shit like that. I'm just saying, though. You know, like, you know, I'm just saying, don't look like you just rolled over out of bed and shit. Know what I mean? I'm just saying, that's people first time seeing you. You know, now people thinking you looking all crazy and shit and everything else. This one was funny, too. I thought this one was fucking hilarious, too, family. These motherfuckers, the internet is savage. Y'all motherfuckers, boy, y'all have no chill. The internet has no chill. Let me tell you, motherfuckers. I was looking at some of this shit. I was like, my goodness. What is this? You know what I mean? I thought this was funny, too. This is real. You know what I mean? You got this motherfucker over here, like, you know, pointing, wagging his finger at all the black men. This is us wagging our finger back at you, motherfucker. This is us wagging our finger back at your motherfucking crazy ass. You know what I mean? You motherfucking, you fucking fake ass, unicorn, fucking simp ass, fucking Negro. The fuck?
Look, you're a simp. I'm gonna have to report you back to Cusco.
Fuck out of here. Nobody want to hear that, man. Listen, this shit came out, and you know, I wasn't even shocked to see some of the support he was getting, because, you know, women all caught up on this motherfucker and this, that, and the third. I'm like, man, listen, man, these birds who be sitting up here, who hate black men, but you know, and worship this motherfucker, anything else. These motherfuckers, like, those motherfuckers, those are motherfuckers, they gonna be a little iffy on them now, right? Because they already had the disdain for black men. But these other women just man, listen, this motherfucking fan base is not gonna go but so far, right? He gonna get that initial backlash from the motherfuckers who already had a hate for black men, and this is kind of like, you know, the end all do all now. Now we all fucked. You know, you got some people running around here saying this is an L for black men. I don't understand how. How the fuck is this an L for us collectively? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Somebody need to break that shit down to me, because that motherfucker collectively for black men was never a W. He was never a W for us. He was only a W for the women who was looking for confirmation bias on they niggas ain't shit motherfucking you know, motherfucking narrative. They got niggas ain't shit narrative, and he was a W for those motherfuckers. So now that he no longer can be confirmation bias for you motherfuckers, that's an L for y'all. That motherfucker, y'all can't prop him up and do all this other shit no more and everything else and talk about how this is a real black man. You know, y'all can't talk that dumb shit no more. This ain't no fucking L for us. What the fuck is you talking about? What the hell are y'all talking about? We been telling you motherfuckers this motherfucker full of shit. We been telling y'all motherfuckers this shit for years. For years we've been telling you motherfuckers this. And you know what you motherfuckers said? You know what every last one of you male-hating motherfuckers back there said? Y'all all said, you Negroes are just hating. Y'all just hating on Derrick Jaxn. Y'all hate Derrick Jaxn because he's out here telling the fucking truth. He's exposing y'all bullshit. That's what you motherfuckers are saying. Don't switch it up now. Don't switch that shit up now. That's what you motherfuckers was saying. That's what y'all was saying. Y'all know y'all was. And now, y'all can't say that shit no more. And I know people out there, you know, and let me get on these brothers real quick. Because this is getting me sick to my fucking stomach, too. Renee was just talking about these women that was getting on her nerves, defending Derrick Jaxn. Let me get on these dudes that are also getting on my fucking nerves, defending Derrick Jaxn. You Negroes need to fucking stop. Stop. Y'all are defending a motherfucker who would not do the same thing for you. Stop. Don't y'all dare try to pull that bro code bullshit with Derrick fucking Jaxn, who never fouled a bro code in his motherfucking life. who never stood up for black men in his motherfucking life, don't you motherfuckers do it. I don't give a fuck about that gender banging shit. If you think, oh, well, we gotta defend them so the women don't feel like this. Fuck all that bullshit. I don't give a fuck. Kick rocks. Kick rocks. Don't defend that motherfucker. Don't deserve near one of you motherfuckers protection. Don't deserve near none of you motherfuckers defense. Stop. Stop. Need I remind you motherfuckers who y'all are defending? Do I have to remind you fuckers who it is you motherfuckers up here trying to defend? Okay, let me remind you motherfuckers. Let me remind you. Let's go.
Like, no, I don't feel like it's okay for a woman to act like a man. And that's why I'm able to find a man that wants to take care of me, because he knows that I look at life like that. I think that when a man cheats, I think he's just is enough. But I think it's because Daddy taught me that. But I think when a woman sleeps with another man outside the relationship, that's actually cheating, because it's emotional for women. Women are emotional creatures. Men are animals. So they just yeah, they're animals, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, they're animals, and so they see a piece of meat, they eat it, and then afterwards they want to go home to their wives. They're thinking about their wives. So I don't think it's the same thing.
Look, y'all already know how I feel about this rise of the whole, hey, you can cheat on me type of woman, right? Like, it's her life, it's her choices. If she want to tell her husband he's free to lay up with any woman that he wants and he can still count on having her to come home to, then that's her business. I say break a leg. But no matter how many times and how many ways these girls try to spin it to make it make sense, it just doesn't with me. You know that a man should exclusively be able to cheat, but if his wife does the exact same thing, then she's wrong. Therefore, women should just expect it and be okay with it. Like, especially whenever she said that women are emotional creatures and that's the reason why it's wrong. That's the reason why it's different. Well, reality check. It's 2018, not 1918. There are some women that will kick a dude up out her house before he even gets his, just because she got hers. Like, women are not just falling madly in love with every dude that they lay down with, you know, just in case you haven't noticed. But let's just go with her mindset. You know, let's just put ourselves in her shoes, try to think with her logic or lack thereof for a second. And let's say that women are just totally emotional bots, incapable of thinking outside of what they feel. You want to know what's not emotional? Side babies. And the child support that you and your husband gonna have to pay for him, because I guarantee he gonna make at least one of them, because he's gonna be having unprotected sex with these women, since that's what he's used to having with his wife. He's not about to downgrade to something that he can't even feel. Which brings me to my next point. You wanna know what else isn't emotional? STDs. In which some STDs are actually worse than side babies, because you can leave that man and his side babies whenever you get ready. It's some STDs that you're going to have to take to the grave with you. And depending on which one it is, it might not be that long of a trip, just being honest. But if we're going to go with this whole women are emotional thing, that has to include the other women that he's sleeping with. So if he's making all these women out here emotional over him, attached to him, at what point do you think one of them is going to say, I want his main chick spot. I want to be the one that he comes home to. So you telling your dude that he's free to go out here and cheat on you all willy-nilly is you telling your dude that he's free to go make you all these emotional enemies that you don't know, but I bet you they know you.
All right, y'all, so real quick, I've been throwing around this phrase for a while now called pre-cheating, which is essentially any actions of your man that he has to defend with, you overreacting. What man doesn't do that? Stop being insecure. To be more specific, it's the stuff you let slide because it doesn't exactly cross the line, yet it didn't feel good whenever you peeped it either. Like the combos he had with the attractive girl that wasn't sexting, but it wasn't business related. Or when he hit the club every weekend with his boys, and while you trying to trust him to be on his best behavior, something nagging you wondering why he wants to be in an environment full of singles when his ass ain't single. Whatever the situation may be. Pre-cheating are those actions that don't cross the line, but they're more like a running start. So he can not only cross, but hop clean over the line whenever he's ready to. But why would he pre-cheat? If he gonna cheat, he might as well just cheat. Okay, you know how you let those dishes pre-soak before you wash them? Why do you do that? Because it makes it easier to do what? Wash them. Well, it's the same thing with cheating. It's a whole lot easier when you pre-cheat first. Being in a girl's face, being in a girl's inbox. Whatever you gotta do to warm the engine up before you pull off, most men have to do that. I mean, unless he a Morris Chestnut or Usher or some shit, most men ain't stepping out their front door right into some pussy. They got to plant that long before so they can harvest whenever the season comes. And that season comes whenever you give him any incentive. That's any argument, any attitude you catch, you gain 2 pounds, whatever. He'll pre-cheat the whole relationship, cheat on you, and then blame you for it.
Do women pre-cheat? Yes, but men do it a lot more because women can get dick on demand, but pussy ain't all that plentiful, so we gotta build a rapport first. Meanwhile, a woman can snap her fingers and have dick ringing her doorbell. And women are more likely to doubt their intuition. Meanwhile, we get a bad gut feeling and we want you to cut off every male in your phone, but y'all will deny until you accidentally catch him in something. So with all that said, please stop doubting yourself and letting that pre-cheating shit slide. Cause first he sliding in the girl's DMs, then he sliding the drawers off, then he sliding the $400 to go to the clinic and telling you he lost that money in a bet. What's going on, y'all? I forgot to mention something on that last video I uploaded, so I was gonna say it now. Anywho, on the last video, I talked about the dude who said that, you know, it's difficult for a guy who's formerly promiscuous to be monogamous with one woman, so she should acknowledge his effort to be faithful, right? Well, he also said something that kind of tickled me. He said, if a guy slips up and cheats, it shouldn't outweigh all the good that he's done up until that point, right? But by woman logic, it somehow does, and he doesn't understand why. I'm gonna tell you why. First off, to say that, you know, cheating shouldn't outweigh all the good that you've done is also to say there's an amount of good you can do to deserve to cheat, which is bullshit. And I shouldn't even have to explain that, because vice versa, we will catch a fucking fit and, you know, decide to be hoes for the rest of our life if a woman were to ever break our heart, no matter how much good she's done. But anywho, you don't know how much damage you've done by cheating on a woman, so we can't reduce it to just one lapse in judgment, you know, one slip up or whatever. That's besides the fact that none of us really slip up and fuck anybody. There was a rapport that we built. There was scoping out that happened. There was putting ourselves in that position. There was flirting. You know what I'm saying? So going by most people's definition of cheating, yeah, you just slip up. But the truth is, you've probably been cheating months before you actually put your dick in her. And more times, I would say 9 times out of 10, when a dude gets caught cheating, that wasn't his very, very first time cheating. That wasn't his only time cheating. That was his only time getting caught. Let's be real. But back to what I was saying, it's not just one slip up. You just caused damage for the next 2, 3 months, 6 months, depending on how much she loved you and how much she had invested in you. Not only that, it can definitely outweigh how much good you've done, because shit, she may question all the good things you've done since you done cheated on her. So if y'all been together a year, right? Had no problems, all these good times, all these laughs, all these times you told her that she was beautiful to you, that she was the only one that you wanted, and then you go and you cheat and you go against everything that you said. You caused a year of past damage, plus you caused whatever, how much time it's gonna take for her to get back off the ground of the shit that you just did. But somehow that means that, you know, one fucking slip up shouldn't outweigh all the good that you've done. Motherfucker, that one slip up might cancel all the shit that you've done. fuck all the what's gonna outweigh all the good that you've done. It might not even be worth the price to pay of you possibly doing this shit again.
Now, like you brothers was out there saying, that was, you know, all on your bro code shit. All the, trying to have sympathy. I don't have no sympathy for this clown. I don't have no sympathy for this clown. This motherfucker had made a whole career of throwing us under the fucking bus for a motherfucking paycheck. For a motherfucking paycheck. And I'm supposed to feel sorry for this motherfucker? I'm supposed to feel sorry for him. Why? Why? Because he's a black man being attacked by the sisterhood? Because he's being called out for his bullshit? Man, fuck that. I don't give a fuck what the sisterhood do to him. Sisterhood deserved to clap on him. Shit, they made that motherfucker rich. Shit. They paid for it. Shit, they deserve it. They deserve it. I was like, yeah, he shouldn't apologize. He shouldn't apologize. Why shouldn't he? He don't owe me no motherfucking apology. He don't owe me shit. He don't owe me a motherfucking thing besides keep fucking up so I can keep laughing at you. He don't owe me nothing else. He don't owe me shit. But he owe those goddamn women a motherfucking apology. Those women who propped him up and made him a unicorn and everything else. Oh yeah. He had to get his ass up on there and explain his fucking entanglement. He had to get his ass on that fucking red pill table. He had to get on that red pill table, and he had to motherfucking get there and divulge all the details of his entanglement. right? He owed that to them women. Fuck yeah, he did. He absolutely did. That's who he panded to all that time. That's his base. He don't owe me shit though. He don't owe me a motherfucking thing. He owe those women that shit. That's who he owe the apology to. Yes, get up there, explain your entanglement. Yes, Derrick. This is insane. What are we talking about here? This is the motherfucking, what? This is everybody's sip of the year annually. Like this motherfucker that won sip of the year so many years in a row, they changed the name to the Derrick fucking Jaxn Award. And I see the same Negroes who used to clap on Derrick Jaxn, showing sympathy for this clown. Because the sisterhood is clapping at him. Who cares? Let him clap at him. That's fair. He's fair. Hold your own shit. Hold your own shit. This motherfucker is the equivalent of a fucking coon. He is the equivalent of a fucking coon. He throw his own under the fucking bus for fucking dollars. This motherfucker ain't nothing but the gender banging Brandon Tatum. He's a goddamn grifter. The fuck is y'all talking about over here? Y'all gonna get this motherfucker? Wow, listen. When a coon who panders to white people all of a sudden gets in a quote-unquote entanglement with a group of white people and they all of a sudden start turning their backs on him and shit like that, you know what I do? I giggle my motherfucking ass off. I giggle my motherfucking ass off. Good. You got a nigga wake-up call. Good for you. You wanted to be different. Good for you. This is the same fucking philosophy. Oh, you wanted to pander to all these motherfucking man-hating motherfucking women, didn't you? You wanted to throw us under the fucking bus to these misogynists for fucking money. And now they turned their backs on you and they giving you that fucking work. Good. You got a simp wake-up call. I'm not gonna cry about a simp getting a simp motherfucking wake-up call. I'm not gonna cry for this motherfucker. I'm not gonna defend this motherfucker. I'm not gonna say, no, fuck that. I ain't boo-boo the fool. Some of you motherfuckers too deep in the fucking forest to see the goddamn trees. I don't want to hear that shit. Bro code my ass. You motherfuckers get that motherfucking bro code. You shitting me? Are you shitting me? It's like pro-blacks jumping up to defend ABL. I'll go ham on those fuckers if they ever try to defend ABL. The fuck are y'all doing over here? What are you talking about? Defend who? For what? Because some white people clapping at them? Good. The hell is you defending them for? Y'all motherfuckers is nutty. You motherfuckers, y'all too wrapped up in this gender banging shit. And that shit is flooding your minds. I don't give a fuck what these women do to that motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. I already know y'all gonna jump up, defend them. They ain't gonna do nothing but turn around, go right back to him anyway, and he gonna go right back to throwing our asses under the fucking bus, and y'all gonna feel dumb. And later, y'all gonna feel dumb. Y'all sitting up here trying to clap at these women for clapping at him. Y'all fuck around and change their mind and be like, you know what? You right. Maybe we are being too hard on them. Maybe we should give them a second chance. You know what, Vegas? We gonna take y'all up on y'all offer. I ain't want to cancel them anyway. Who am I gonna look at every day? If I cancel Derrick Jaxn, I have nobody to look at. I ain't want to cancel him anyway. Thank you. Y'all talked me into it. You talked me into it. I was going to unsub. I was hovering. But those thumbnails kept bringing me back. But I was hovering. My finger was hovering over that button. And I was about to hit it. But y'all good, logical, educated black men talked me into it. I'm going to still support him. And then they're going to go right back over there and support him. And he going to go right back to throwing y'all fuckers under the bus. Y'all dumb. Stop. Let that simp have his simp wake-up call. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? That shit drive me nuts. That motherfucker deserves whatever the fuck he get. He deserves it. I don't care. Women have at him. You ain't gotta worry about Psycho jumping in your fucking way. I am not gonna break up this fight. Windmill y'all motherfucking asses off. Make sure y'all bob and weave. Know what I mean? Hit that motherfucker, hit him with some good body shots. Know what I mean? And don't be scared to uppercut him. I know y'all want to damage his face and all that shit. Fuck all that. Handle y'all fucking business. Do that scratch, claw, all that shit. Psycho ain't in y'all way. You ain't gotta worry about me. I can't speak for everybody else, but me, you ain't gotta worry about me. I'm good. Fuck that. The hell we talking about here? Hey, can I get some more likes? That's another goddamn thing. Can I get some more fucking likes? This is embarrassing. I need some more likes over here too, family. Stop playing with me. I mean, y'all up to the clouds and shit up there. Like, swoop down for the clouds, hit that fucking button, and then get y'all asses back up in the cloud. Y'all ain't nobody gonna know y'all here if y'all click like. That shit ain't gonna stop. It's free, and nobody gonna know you hit it. So go ahead and hit that motherfucker. Stop being stingy. I mean, what the hell going on around here? Anyways, yeah, I think I said enough for right now. I'll pass the mic to Renee. Oh, Renee, we still got that other clip too, by the way.
All right. You can go ahead and play that one.
You want to play that one now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Go ahead. You're gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip, the audio.
All right, y'all.
Give me 1 second. Getting it together right now. 1 second. Kind of caught me off guard. I'm coming. I'm coming. Yeah, I believe that's no. There we go. All right. Get that out the way. Okay, let's go. We're going to listen to this clip real quick, family. We'll be right back.
Like, listen, no, I don't feel like it's okay for a woman to take a man, and that's why I'm able to find a man that wants to take care of me. He knows that I look at life like that. I think that when a man sleeps, when a man cheats,
for DJ Envy.
I think it's
just
just
about.
I think it's not
yesterday, and everybody was talking about this guy Derrick Jaxn.
But I think it's because Daddy taught me that. But I think when a man, when a woman sleeps with another man outside the relationship, that's actually.
My apologies, family. Let's try that again. I'm fucking up. My bad. I got y'all. Here we go.
Listen up.
This just in. All the gossip. The Rumor Report. Gossip. With Angela Yee.
It's the Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club.
All right, another alley-oop for DJ Envy. Now let's talk about, this was trending yesterday, and everybody was talking about this guy, Derrick Jaxn. Now, I guess he is a relationship expert, and he's a, quote, relationship guru. And here he is. This is just one of the things that he talks about men being cheaters. You know, women love this talk coming from a man.
I have no sympathy for a man who finds it to be difficult to be faithful after being in a promiscuous lifestyle, and neither should you. Nobody told you to be promiscuous before the relationship, and nobody made you be monogamous with just her. You don't want her? Let another man have her. Simple. And more times, I would say 9 times out of 10, when the dude gets caught cheating, that wasn't his very, very first time cheating. That was his only time getting caught.
Woo, well, a hit dog will holler. and it was exposed that he actually was cheating on his own wife. He's been married for 4 years. And YouTuber Tasha K actually interviewed a woman that he slept with named Candace de Medeiros. And I guess there's other women who are also coming forward. Well, here is Derrick Jaxn, who says that affair wasn't what you think. Listen.
At that point, I had a beef with God. I gave my life to Christ and my whole life fell apart. My marriage fell apart. At this point, I'm not seeing my kids. And I really honestly just went to a place of effort. That was in May. June, she basically lets me know there's no plan for her to be around on my birthday. Now I'm in screw it mode, F it mode. I'm hitting up old chicks. I really don't care at this point. One of those people was a girl named Candace. Now here's the thing. So me and Candace have had a sexual relationship without actually having sex.
Man, you are a liar, and you've always been a liar.
What? I've never heard
So
somebody
he had a
say...
sexual relationship without having sex. Does anybody understand that? Can you interpret that?
No. I've never heard someone say, I gave my life to Christ and my life fell apart. That's a new one. But I mean, you can have emotional, you can cheat emotionally.
Right.
You don't have to necessarily have sex, but you can
Sometimes you just gotta say, I was wrong. I messed up.
Yeah, I was confused with the brother. First of all, I was confused with what makes him a specialist, right? He's been married 4 years, and he portrays as perfect and perfection. And anybody who's been married or been in a relationship, you know that there is nothing perfect about a relationship, about a marriage. There's nothing perfect. There is. Like, even with my podcast with me and my wife, we talk about everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. I talked about my infidelity. I talked about everything, because that's what makes the relationship stronger, and that's what helps people out. But portraying that something is perfect, people look for this perfection, and there is no perfection. I talk about me being insecure. I talk about me being controlling early on in our relationship, but all that has helped and built to what we have today. And we talk about everything. We still get into arguments. We still have problems, but we have great times, but we talk about it, and that's what relationships and marriage is about, working through it.
Well, Derrick Jaxn also had said that he didn't sleep with that woman or anyone for that matter. He said that did not happen. He did not sleep with her. But then he changed his tune. He actually did a video with his wife, and she was there with him. She was wearing a bonnet. And here's what happened.
The truth is that Derrick Jaxn was involved with other women outside the marriage. And by involved, I want to be clear, I'm not talking about just casually kicking it, maybe a lunch or something like that. I'm talking about as serious as sex and some things that otherwise may be considered okay by some, but without my wife's knowledge of it and with us having a sexual history, all of it falls under the umbrella of inappropriate, cheating, affair, stepping out. It's important that I first off let you guys know I do not stand by those actions. And then secondly, I know that I cannot build a platform preaching certain things, preaching against certain things, and then in my real life live contrary to that.
I know one thing. You have to let your wife get to the part of the Busted Challenge when Erica Banks' song plays before you put her online and embarrass her. Because she looked like the Nelly part was still playing.
Yeah, she didn't. She looked like she didn't want to be there.
I was waiting for her to drop down and come up fresh. That never happened.
She didn't look like she wanted to be there. And I would hope that they would figure out their problems first before they go to the world. Like, figure out home first. Don't just have your wife up there and you're talking and she looks like she doesn't want to be there. Fix the problem first. Y'all get your therapy on. Y'all get what y'all got to get on, and then you could address the public. This ain't about the public. This ain't about the world. This is, if you really care, like you say, this is about you and your wife and fixing that relationship.
Only thing I would tell everybody out there, I would rather be known in life as an honest sinner than a lying hypocrite. Okay? Mm-hmm. And also remember that God will never bless who you pretend to be. He will only bless who you are. Also, in the words of MC Breed, ain't no future in fronting. Okay, all of y'all that be fronting and performing on social media because you get rewarded for it, just know one thing about performing, the curtain will eventually fall. So many people wake up every day pretending, trying to be what people want them to be instead of being themselves, and that performing is rewarded nowadays, but eventually that curtain falls and the show is over. And finally, black men don't cheat. Okay, black boys do. Black immature young men. I haven't cheated since October 2016. Drop one of those bombs for me. Okay? And this year, I promise I didn't do it last year because of COVID. This year, I am going to get a coin made for all the brothers that I know who have truly rehabilitated their lives and have been sober and clean for a long period of time.
Preach, bro.
How long has it been for you, Envy?
A long ass time. A long ass time.
It's been 5. It'll be October 2006. It'll be 5 years for me in October this year.
I'm way past you.
Yeah, you way past me.
I'm way past you. Long
But
ass time.
once again, I'd rather be known in life as an honest sinner than a lying hypocrite.
All right.
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, that is your rumor report. Now I'm putting on my pink. You know why? The mix is up next, and I'm
That's
starting
right.
with Dipset. Dipset.
No.
Dipset. Dipset.
No. Play his song. Play his
Don't
song.
you dare. Don't
play
you dare.
Play his song.
Revolt.
Drum.
We'll see you tomorrow.
You are a member
tomorrow.
of the Pink Ladies gang from Greece.
Everybody else, the People's Choice mix is
It's
up
you
next.
and Frenchie and Sandy.
Oh, stop it.
All right.
Oh, stop it.
Beauty school drop.
That's right. That's what you are.
All right.
You date duty, Frenchie.
The mix is up next.
Duty.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
All right, family, and there y'all go. As y'all can see, yeah, he made it to the big time. You know, the Breakfast Club even talking about this shit. That shit crazy. Yeah, Renee, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, but I was so done when he talking about she looked like she was doing the busted challenge. She was still on the Nelly part. I was done. Cause that's really what it looked like. And I mean, let's be clear here. They know that this whole thing was going viral, right? They know like the hypocrisy there and the scandal of it all, that people was gonna be talking about it and everything like that. So why would a woman put herself on video looking like that for something that's going to the whole world? Like, that was a scheme to me. Either that was a scheme set up or just on some like humble stuff, like trying to make it seem like, oh, this is just so, like we're just coming to you as our humble selves. Like, she's just being a wife and mom at home and, she's just coming on. And that was probably to garner a certain level of sympathy as well. So, it's all manipulative at the end of the day. But yeah, I want to get into the whole God thing. Because he really, 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 really went over the top with it. He went over the top with it. And he did, what a lot of people do. Now, I don't think it's any question for a lot of people who are familiar with the show or with me that, I'm not somebody who subscribes to the Bible or whatnot. I consider myself agnostic. I don't know. But I don't subscribe to the Bible. I don't believe that that's some special set apart holy book or whatever. I don't subscribe to that. But a lot of people do. And even more so, a lot of people that follow Derrick Jaxn do, because most of his supporters and Team Jackson and the people who, are his consumer base are Black women. And Black women are extremely religious, however people feel most comfortable in phrasing that. It's their culture, it's their religious, their spiritual, however you want to put it. That is very prevalent, extremely prevalent amongst Black women, in my opinion, most of the time to a fault. And I think this situation is going to be a really good example of that. And, make no doubt about it. That's why he keeps saying God, 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 God. Because even in the video that he did on Sunday by himself, he was talking about God then and constantly throwing it out there then. And then in the video with his wife, of course, they were mentioning God. So, a lot of times people do that to manipulate other people. They do that to shrug off responsibility and accountability for things. They do that as a deflection. And, they just really are playing upon people's emotions. And that's exactly what he's aiming to do, you know. And the thing about it is, like, when he was talking about, well, you know, and God, you know, that's what was missing with us. Where's the love at? Because you didn't talk about loving your wife. If y'all noticed that, I just want to point that out. He didn't talk about loving his wife. He talked about, like, his duty as serving God, supposedly, or whatever. Okay? He spoke in reference to that. He didn't speak in reference to, like, man, I love my wife, man. She means, you know, so much to me. You know, I really stepped on her trust. I really destroyed her trust in me, and this, that, or the other. He didn't come to it from that perspective, on some for real love, like, I really love this woman. Like, I genuinely love this woman. No, he didn't come from that perspective. He came from the perspective of, well, he wasn't following God and all of this other stuff, right? Because he took a vow. Okay? And okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah, that may be true that you took a vow, but damn, love don't come up nowhere in the conversation of how you feel about your wife after all of this stuff that you've done. So, you know, and here's the thing. When his wife started speaking and she was giving her perspective or whatever, she went into saying that God forgave him. Okay? She said God forgave him. And if you notice, when she says that, he was shaking his head, yes. You know, now we all know that this was not, they wanted that to seem like super candid and all of that. But we know that they planned this out, they mapped this out. This was not something, I do not for 1 minute believe that he grabbed her from, she's just doing motherly and wifely duties, and honey, let's just talk about this. Get the hell out of there. Like, we're so far past this. We're so far removed from this. Like, this happened and we worked through it, and you guys are just now hearing this type of thing. Like, get the hell out of here. Y'all sat down, y'all scripted this stuff out, y'all talked about this stuff. And I felt like he wanted her to say that God forgave him, because people already know that, you know, he already knows that he's being called a narcissist. He already knows he's being called a manipulator. He already knows all of those things. So he needs for her to say that God forgave him. See, he can't say it because it's not going to be as legitimate. It's not going to be legitimate at all, period. But y'all get what I'm saying. So she sits there and God forgave him. So here's the thing, and here's what they saying to all of these black women and these religious black women and you know, the good God-fearing black woman. And I'm not, before I go on, let me say that I'm not trying to at all, you know, demean or put down black women who are biblical believing or religious or whatnot. But religion is a way to manipulate people. It is a way to manipulate people, because if there are these certain tenets that are supposed to exist, but at the end of the day, you can always fall back on, well, I did wrong, but God forgave me. You know, God has helped me and all of that. And people use that to their benefit. Okay, so I just want to point that out. So you're entitled to believe whatever it is that you personally choose to believe. But just understand the levels of manipulation that are deeply ingrained in what religion is built on. Let's be clear. And so he was playing upon that in what he was doing. So I'm not saying this stuff to attack black women, but it's a reality that that's who his base is black women. And you guys sprinkling in of this, that, and the other, but the base is black women. Okay, so here's the thing, and here's what they're saying. If the wife is sitting there saying, you know, we've dealt with this, and I wasn't gonna come back at all, and then I saw a change in him, and blah 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 blah, right? So and then she says that God forgave him. So what they're saying to you is, if God forgave him and his wife forgave him, who the hell are you not to forgive him? Who are you not to forgive? you can't be more upset with him than God or his wife. Right? So how can you sit there and say, well, I don't forgive Derrick Jaxn. I'm not going to support Derrick Jaxn anymore. I'm not going to do this and that with Derrick Jaxn because what he just did was wrong and blah, 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 blah. But wait a minute though. Wait, Christian black woman. Wait, biblical believing black woman. God forgave him, no. And his wife forgave him. So, what you mean you can't forgive him? And so that's exactly the sentiment that they are playing on with this whole God thing. And I'm already letting you know it's hella black women that's rocking with that. It's hella black men like, well, dang, that is, well, you know, his wife said God forgave him and you know, she forgave him and they working through it. So, you know, and he's got his book, right? Because let's not forget the book. Let's not forget his new book about them healing together, right? Healing together without hurting each other. And that whole book is supposed to be biblically based. It's supposed to be based on what the Bible supposedly teaches or says about, you know, people in a marriage and how they can heal and work together and the couple as a couple and this, that, and the other. Okay, so let's not forget that. Let's not leave that out the equation because he can always, and I knew that was going to be a part of the whole scheme. He can always fall back on the thing of, well, you know, these things happen, but that's what my book is about. See, that's what my book is about, because my book is talking about us healing together, see? And see, it's based, you know, it's biblically based, see? And all of this comes from about God, see? It's nothing more than a tool of manipulation, y'all. And people got to start understanding that. You know, when he sits up and says, nothing is right until it's right with God. What does that even mean? What does that mean? Like, I would have loved to ask him to explain that to me. Like, tell me what that means. Nothing is right until it's right with God. Well, who determines what's right with God? Like, where's that determined from? Because here's the thing, right? If he claims that God forgives him, who can say that that's a lie? Because the way that this whole religious thing is based and how it's set up is that, you know, I can talk to God about me, right? So that means if I pray to God about me and I said, you know, I feel bad about this, I was wrong for this, please forgive me, then God tells me about me and God tells me that he forgives me. So nobody else can come and say, well, God don't forgive you. Because remember, God knows your heart, right? God knows your heart. You can't tell me that in my heart that I'm not really for real sorry. You can't determine that for me. It's a bunch of arbitrary nonsense. It's a bunch of stuff that anybody can make up the rules as it goes along. That's why he can sit up and say that, or his wife can sit up and say that God's forgiven him, because he knows nobody can really challenge that. That can't be challenged. That can't be disproven. Because all of that is based on your heart. What's in your heart? Sure, I'm human. I messed up. But now I'm a changed man. I'm different now. I'm not on that anymore. God got me together now. I remember, I think it was Steve Harvey. And I think it's in that Kings of Comedy, one of them stand-ups or whatever. And if y'all remember, didn't he have a thing talking about God still working on me, right? And so essentially that phrase It's just an excuse, right? It's an excuse to still say, well, if you quote messed up somewhere, or you're exposed for messing up, or something comes out that you've messed up, that you can always just say, well, God's still working on me. So that's the get out of jail free card. That's like, oh, okay, well, then we gotta we gotta let that go. Because God is the judge, right? He's supposed to be the only judge. Supposedly. Ain't that the phrase, only God can judge me? Even though, literally you have to judge. Like, that's literally a part of being a human. Like, that's literally a part of life, is judging. Now, to what degree, you don't have to be overly judgmental or something like that. That may be
judge me thing. The whole only God could judge me thing. That's another one of them fake cliches that come from Christians. Because the Bible actually don't say that. You actually have to judge people according to the Bible. You got to judge people whether or not they following the scriptures correctly, and you're supposed to let them know if they're not. It's scriptures all in the Bible that shows you're supposed to judge people. So that whole cliche that only God can judge me is bullshit. It's bullshit. Just read your Bible.
Yeah, that's literally a part of life. There's no way you can live life without judging. If you're not gonna have a very long life if you don't judge, because you got to be able to determine what's good, bad, right, wrong, whatever. Like, so even on the most logical level, on the most logical level, you have to judge. And like Psycho said, even the Bible says that. So, but that is definitely a Christian or religious cliche that, only God can judge me, or only God can judge people. God is the ultimate judge, right? And again, because only God knows what's in your heart. Nobody else knows that, because somebody could be lying about something, or they could be telling the truth. You may not necessarily know, but God knows, right? God knows. So it's a typical thing that people do. It's a typical thing that people fall back on when they get exposed, when something comes out about whatever. It's a way to lessen accountability. Okay, it's a way for them to get their cake and eat it too. Okay, to get people to still kind of accept them back in. All right, and so Derrick Jaxn is the worst type. He's one of the worst types of guys, because he is willing to use anything and anyone for his own devices. He's willing to use Black women's religion against them. He's willing to use Black women's desire to have this perfect man, if you will, or this so-called good guy, like he tried to portray himself as being, that's loyal, that's all of these things, and listens and understands and takes her needs into consideration. Like, he played upon all of that, and he played upon so many women's insecurity. And on the thumbnail, y'all see that there's no such thing as a relationship expert. And so I just want to talk about that real quick on what supposedly a relationship expert is. And I think Psycho's gonna put the definition up, but simply put, a relationship expert is someone who understands human needs and desires within the context of the way we feel, interact, connect, and behave with ourselves and others. Someone who has the solution, techniques, and strategies to achieve the desired outcomes in relationships. Oh, really? Oh, really? And that's who Derrick Jaxn is? Because ain't he a relationship expert, a relationship guru? Isn't that who he's supposed to be? So he has the solutions, right? And he knows the proper things to do for the right outcome. And this whole thing, like, this is just a knock on the whole relationship category, because there is no such thing as a relationship expert. period. That's my opinion, but there's no such thing as a relationship expert. And that's because relationships are something we're constantly building. It's something that constantly changes. It's something that's constantly different from person to person. It's something that has so many different variables to it. There's no way you could be an expert at it, because everybody has certain different, qualities to them. Everybody has their certain different nuances to them. And so this idea of being an expert at that is ridiculous. And my thing is this: I think that there are people who can offer good advice on certain things. I think there are people who may be studied or well studied in certain elements of relationships, and that's fine. But when you get into, the level of saying people are experts, saying people are gurus, putting people on pedestals, that's a problem. Because why can't it just be simply that Derrick Jaxn may have done a video or two, or even a few, that resonated with a woman, right? And that she takes that with a grain of salt and moves on. Why does Derrick Jaxn have to be put way up here? Because you saw a video that you might have agreed with or thought was interesting. Why does he then have to become damn near God, just like these people like Kevin Samuels and whatnot? If you feel like it's a good piece of advice in there somewhere, okay, that's what's up. But to me, you can find good advice or certain things that may make you think anywhere. That doesn't mean you make that larger than life because you found it there. I think the Bible, just to talk about the religious aspect, just to go back to that for a second, I think the Bible has some productive things in it. I think that the Bible has a lot of practicality in it. There's certain things that you can apply to life, everyday life, in certain situations or whatnot. I don't think that the Bible is. You want to say something?
No, I was just going to respond to comments in the chat about the judgment thing. God's they speak of God delivering judgment, right? But when I say only God can judge me, it's a cliche. It is, because actually that's not what they be saying in these scriptures. These scriptures are taken out of context. The Bible speaks of God's judgment not as a convenient way to push back at critics, but as a warning siren to sinners. That's how it's worded in the Bible. But they take that and they flip it to try to use it as a way to push back against critics, that, so they won't be held accountable to their bullshit. Because it doesn't say that in the Bible. It doesn't say, oh, well, nobody can criticize you because only God can judge you. The Bible don't speak on that. The Bible does speak on God's judgment, righteous judgment, and all this other stuff, but not in the way that phrase is used. That phrase is completely taken out of context. It's cliche. It's not worded like that verbatim. And my bad. Go ahead, Renee. I just wanted to respond to that.
Yeah, so I forgot where I was at, but I totally forgot where I was at. Because I was past the judgment thing. Oh, just the relationship guru thing, the relationship expert thing. But yeah, why can't it be that you can find certain elements of certain things in certain places? And like I was saying about the Bible, I think that there's a lot of practicality there. I think that there are some, lessons there. But for me personally, you can also look into a lot of African proverbs that teach lessons. You can look into a lot of children's stories that teach simple life lessons, and fables and whatnot. So, but people don't necessarily put those on the same level they do the Bible, of course. You can take certain elements from different places, but you don't have to make it bigger than. And so people do that with these relationship gurus, and they do it with people like Derrick Jaxn. And before that, you had other people that this was done with. I mentioned Steve Harvey. You know, his whole think like a man, act like a lady thing. You know, that was huge. The book was a major bestseller. It turned into actual movies that were blockbuster films as well. Like, so people put him up there too, that, hey, you know, Steve Harvey really knows what he's talking about. It. He's some type of relationship expert. And this man's been married multiple times. Now, to some people, and that's kind of like with this Derrick Jaxn thing, some people will think that gives him more validity, right? Because he's failed at multiple marriages. He's failed at multiple relationships. So then he knows more than somebody else, maybe who got married once and have stayed married. Or somebody who's not married. Or somebody who has been divorced and not married again. Steve Harvey knows more, supposedly, right? Because he's been divorced more times. And that's why I say, like, with this Derrick Jaxn thing, people are gonna use that same thing. They're gonna use that same type of philosophy with him. The Team Jackson people and the people who want to make excuses, they will say, well, you know, he's been there, done that. He's experienced that. He's been that guy. That's why he can tell us about it. You know, it'll be a story of redemption. It'll be a story of, that's what makes what he says even more valid. So people do that type of thing all the time. But at the end of the day, with these relationship experts and these people, you can take a message from anybody that seems worthwhile. Don't make the person into a god. Don't make the person into somebody who's on a pedestal. Don't make the person larger than life. And I see that happening all the time, from the whole swirl community to the manosphere community to whatever else in this whole gender banging community thing. I see that happen all the time. And people think because somebody will come on somewhere and say something that means that they won't, like, they'll speak against something, that means that they won't do it. Like, for instance, you have a lot of these dudes who talk about men simping. And a lot of dudes put them on pedestals as if that guy won't simp or that he's not a simp. And that dude can be a simp the whole time. And I'm not talking about in past tense, like he at one point, quote unquote, was simping. No, a current simp, an active simp. But he's telling all of these other men to not be simps and calling out every little thing and women are this and women are that, right? And so for whatever reason, people make up in their mind that means this person is not that. Same thing with the women's side of things. You know, they tell women, you know, you got women out here that tell these women about, it's all about the money. You're just going to get with the man who has the most money, and you know, you get an older man with money and you do this and that and don't worry about this and don't worry about that. And these women are telling some women that, and they the ones bringing in more money than their husband. They the ones paying for all of this and that, but they're telling you to lead this rich, wealthy lifestyle, this unrealistic lifestyle of getting men with all this money. And people automatically on some certain level believe that this woman is living this certain type of life because what she's telling you and what she's portraying to you. So, you know, I understand the concept of you don't, you know, necessarily want to just off rip accuse people of things that you don't know about. But after a certain period of time, either the puzzle pieces will start to come together for you on certain things, or in like the case of Derrick Jaxn, they get exposed. And I think it's from that point what you do that matters most. Because this should be a lesson to these Team Jaxn women. This should be a lesson that you should have never put him on a pedestal in the first place. This should be a lesson to you that there's no perfect man, there's no unicorn. It's just not. And the same dude who made you feel like you were being heard, the same dude who came across that you thought was so damn loyal and could basically do no wrong, is a dirtbag. I mean a dirtbag. I mean, he's a dirtbag. And then he married his wife when she was 5 months pregnant. Now let's think about that. To me, that seems like he pushed this off as far or as long as he could before he had to go ahead and marry this lady. Because that would have really looked out of pocket. Because remember, he already got the baby with the white girl. He already got one child with the white girl. So for the most part, people will usually give you one child. You know, they'll usually excuse one child and say, well, you know, they may have been young and it may just have kind of been a slip-up situation that happened. And, you know, they had the one child out of wedlock or one child and they're not married to the other parent or whatever. So people will usually give you one. But in the context of being a relationship expert, a relationship guru, and you already got the one child with the white lady, okay? Now
he does have a child with that white lady?
Yes. He has a biracial
That's what I
child.
thought. I said on the weekend, I said that I wasn't sure if he had a kid with that Becky, because I knew he used to mess with a Becky. I wasn't sure if he actually had a kid with that Becky and everything else. So you just confirmed that he does have a kid with the Becky. Okay. All right. So I wasn't tripping. Okay.
So now your woman, your black woman, and mind you, you pandering to black women, right? You done establish yourself. You done start getting some bread for real. You got your consumer back. All of that stuff is lining up, coming together. Now she's pregnant. And I guess she wasn't going to not have the baby or whatever the case may have been. I don't know. But now she's pregnant. So what now? The women really going to be like, so wait a minute. You got 2 baby mamas and you ain't married neither one? You got 2 baby mamas. And then, okay, they really gonna let you off the hook because the first one was a white girl. But then now you got the black woman who's the second baby mama and you ain't married her and you a relationship expert. So by the fact that they got married when she was 5 months pregnant, that shows that to me. Like he kind of waited as long as he could. Like he kind of put that off as long as he could before having to actually get married then and actually like be a husband. Cause that really wasn't gonna fly with a lot of these black women that support. That really wasn't gonna fly. Cause like I said, people will give you one. But now you done got 2 baby mamas. No. So, you know, again, but narcissists are going to do what is self-serving, always. Not what's right. This is not a moral thing. This is like, let's get that out of here. That's why it's so funny with this whole God and this and that. Ain't nothing moral about this man. This is not a moral thing of it's the right thing to do to, you know, marry the woman you're choosing to have a child with. Like, morally, that's right. No, that's what's going to be best for him and his career and his pockets and what he's trying to portray to the world. It's going to be best that I go ahead and get married and not just have another baby mama, because that's just going to be too janky looking. That's just going to be way too janky. And that's just going to, yeah. So I think for the women who did know he was married, I think that helped to increase like that and improve his stock that much more, because, and it made him more believable. It made him more believable, because it may be one thing for a man to be single and pandering to women, because then you could have the idea, well, you know, he probably hitting a bunch of different women, and, you know, he's really trying to, you know, not to say a married man can't do that, because hello, clearly, but I'm just saying it does look better. It does make you seem more legitimate, in my opinion. You know, because for me, in terms of him, that helps him look more legitimate to me, because it's like, okay, well, yeah, you're pandering to women and you are saying a lot of these things, but, you know, you are a married man. You did settle down, you know, and he married a Black woman. Hello, that's a bonus, right? Because I remember, I think when stuff came out about the white baby mother, that a way that he kind of like brushed that off more was the fact that he's with a Black woman, you know, and that he's been with a Black woman and this and that. So, like, for a lot of Black women, that, you know, made them forgive him more. And it was kind of like, well, you know, okay, you was with the white girl, you got your mind right, you had a child, but you got your mind right later, you came back home. So again, on so many levels, this whole thing is crazy. I think it's like a multitude of conversations that can be had out of this one thing, because it speaks to how people manipulate. It speaks to the internet, like a lot of this stuff, this effery that's out here, and these people pretending to be so damn perfect. I think it speaks to, you know, people hustling. I think it speaks to there's no such thing as a relationship expert, like I said. I think it speaks to women, other things with women, because just to go back to about his wife, you know, I don't consider her to be a victim per se. Maybe the first time, and this is Psycho's rule of thumb, you know, that the first time somebody's cheated on, he feels bad for them. And I agree with that. So maybe the first time she was cheated on, but baby, he been cheating on you back when y'all was boyfriend and girlfriend, before y'all had any children or any of that. Before y'all was married, he was cheating on you. You heard it in the clip that Psycho played. He said himself, people do not, like, when a person gets caught, that ain't their first damn time cheating. Like, they been cheating. They just finally got caught. So, like, let's make that clear. So, aside from maybe initially, you know, I don't see her as a victim. I just really don't, because, like I said, this has afforded them a certain lifestyle. It seems very clear to me. And clearly, she seems okay with playing the background. She seems okay with him not making her a real focal point. And it seems like her being a focal point is only when, like I said, it's most beneficial to his brand and to him. So I don't really see her as a damn victim. And then when she said that she left and she was never gonna come back, and you came back though. But you came back though. So I don't want to hear nothing about the Candace girl, and see these women out here and they clout chasing. What? Okay, let's say Candace was clout chasing. Okay, and what? Like, okay, so now what? Okay, yeah, she was clout chasing. Now, okay, what does that mean? Does that change any of the circumstances of this issue? No. Okay, Candace knew he was married. Okay, and does that change any of the circumstances? No. As far as I know, she didn't put no gun to his head. These are choices that he made as a married man who's a relationship, quote unquote, expert. So stop getting on this woman. Stop trying to make her the bad guy here. I don't see how she's the bad guy. Because, and that is something that happens a lot of times when certain men cheat. Certain, and I want to be clear about that. Because like I was telling Psycho the other day, if Derrick Jaxn had been Derrick Jaxn up the street that worked at the damn water department or worked at Popeye's Chicken, okay, wouldn't nobody be making excuses for him? Wouldn't nobody make excuses for him? They would be dragging the hell out of him, talking about how men are dogs, all men cheat, how did he do that to his wife, and they got 2 kids, and he did this and that, and his wife done been with him, known him for this many years, and blah, 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 blah. And he threw that all away. The same women trying to drag Candace will be dragging the Derrick Jaxn from Popeye's Chicken, okay? Like, let's keep it a buck. So it's like when certain men cheat, then that's when women come after the woman. And again, I'm talking about married men, certain married men that cheat. Women come after the other woman. I don't get that. I don't get that. I just really don't. Because he's the married one. Like, he's married. He took the vow. He has to be accountable for his choices in terms of his wife, not the other woman. So we got to get out of that, ladies. We got to get out of that whole thing of trying to blame other women when it's a married man. Now, can women be, on some other stuff, trying to get at men they know married? Yeah, but guess what? Ain't nothing gonna go down if he don't bite. So even if it is women out here, and we know it's plenty of women, because men talk all the time about how when they get married and they got that ring on their finger, that more women flirt with them, that more women, try to holler at them and things like that. So men have said that for a long time. But even with that being true, he has to decide to get it in with old girl. He has to decide, you know what? Damn, she flirting with me. She trying to come at me. All right, that's what's up. Okay, well, what's up then? It don't matter if she throwing it at him. I don't care. He still got to be down with it. So with that, I'm going to pass the mic.
Yeah, I agree. The girl, she's obviously, side chick, she on her grimy side chick shit, and she went typical side chick and, started blasting everything, right? Which is, kind of part of the course. And, again, she's wrong, but she don't owe nobody no allegiance in none of this. He's the one who's in a committed relationship. He's the one who took the vows. He's the motherfucking unicorn ass fucking relationship coach that's wagging his finger at all black men, telling us we all need to get our shit together, when he's the motherfucking same person that he's trying to warn the fucking women about, which is ridiculous. Like, is his wife going to take his fucking advice on shit? I wonder if his wife is going to take his advice on some shit and, you know, have no tolerance. Zero tolerance on this shit. Like, nah, you know, yeah, he fucking around. Yeah, he been cheating. You know, he been pre-cheating on you. You know, he been setting this shit up for months. You know, trying to get that shit right. So when he gets it, you know, the shit's already marinated. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he sexting and all. Like, y'all heard the videos? I mean, like this what, like, is it why his wife obviously don't take him up on his advice either? So if his own wife ain't taking him up on his bullshit ass advice, why are y'all paying him for it? I'll sit here paying him for advice his own wife ain't even listening to. Ain't that about a bitch? Hey, what the fuck I know, right? You know, I'm just a hating ass Negro on Derrick Jaxn. You just hate, I thought you hated us, Derrick. Oh, I'm so happy I ain't got to hear that shit no motherfucking more. Oh, vindicated. I was telling Renee that, was it last night? Telling her, yeah, I'm a hold this W until my fucking shoulder fucking feel like it's going to collapse. I'm gonna hold this W. I'm gonna hold the fuck out of this motherfucker. Motherfucker talking about this a L shit, this a W, and I'm gonna hold this fucker. I'm gonna hold this bitch. I don't care how heavy it get. I don't care. This shit might give me back problems later on in life holding this big ass motherfucking W, but I don't give a shit. I'm gonna hold this motherfucker. I'm gonna hold it, and I don't care how sore I fucking get doing it. Word up. I ain't playing no game. Fuck this shit. It's ridiculous. And this motherfucker running around using that God excuse. Like, are you shitting me? Oh, by the way, I posted a link in the chat to show that whole only God can judge me is a fucking low-key myth. And, you know, it's a cliche term, and the Bible really doesn't depict what people are trying to say, which is what he was trying to do, which is use this as some kind of biblical excuse. So he dug inside his book of excuses, trying to find something to save him. And instead, he just rolled with the classic cliche, you know, of only God can judge me type shit, whatever. Right? Like, you know, that Bible is a book of excuses. I've said that shit forever. And this just validates me. Like, this is what these motherfuckers do. They get in fuck shit and they immediately run to God to save them. Out they fuck shit to be their shield. They use God in the Bible as a shield to excuse their fuckery, to exonerate their bad behavior. Because all they gotta do is pick up this mythical book, repent, and then say to themselves 3 times in the mirror, only God can judge me. And then a miracle will occur. Their sins have been cleansed. They, you know, like, this is what it is. This is typical. Hiding behind that fucking book. Instead of just owning your shit. Own your shit. Independent of your fairy tales. Your fairy tales didn't cause you to cheat on your wife. Your fairy tales did not lead that side chick. You know, Shirley Murdoch did not end up in your wife's bed as y'all lay, waiting for the morning so y'all could just say goodbye. You know, like, what the fuck? You gonna blame this shit on God? You gonna use God as a fucking excuse? Enough of this shit. I can't take these motherfuckers. I can't take these motherfuckers with these bullshit ass excuses. I'm so sick of people getting in fuck shit. They run to that fucking Bible and start flipping pages, looking for a fucking scripture to motherfucking bail them out. I'm sick of this shit. Own y'all shit, man. Own y'all shit. Fuck is y'all over there doing? I'm not buying this bullshit ass God excuse shit y'all motherfuckers be on, man. Motherfuckers be trying to whip that shit up out of nowhere. Well, the Bible says and scripture says. I don't give a fuck what scripture say. The fuck that scripture gotta do with anything? That scripture ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Nothing. That shit don't hold no weight with me. That shit hold weight with you. Because that's your fraudulent ass excuse. So that shit means something to you. That shit don't mean shit to me. Playing these little silly games, these motherfuckers, man. Shit's insane. Got these motherfuckers up here losing their man. Listen, these motherfuckers up here with this motherfucking biblical nonsense hitting me in the fucking head every fucking time. Stop using God as a fucking excuse. It's called accountability, motherfuckers. Own y'all shit. I ain't got no Bible to go hide behind if I fuck up. If I fuck up, I ain't got no choice but to own my shit. I can't get up on here and be like, you know what? Technically, only science can judge me. You know, science is the only thing that can judge me. You know, so y'all need to get up off me. You know what I'm saying? Like, can I do that? I can't do that. So I ain't gonna give you fuckers the luxury of doing some silly ass shit like that. Y'all motherfuckers nutty as fuck. Motherfuckers should be, man, this is why people don't take this shit serious. Because people see the fuck shit y'all do. They see how y'all hide behind that fucking book. This is shit motherfuckers see what the fuck y'all do. You motherfuckers getting bullshit fuckery. All of a sudden, you motherfuckers turn into religious coups. Stop. Stop. All of a sudden, you want to start thumping the Bible. You weren't thumping the Bible before. You weren't quoting scriptures when you were throwing us under the bus. Called us all a bunch of sex-starved fucking rapist-ass type motherfucking cheaters. You weren't talking your biblical shit then. Not like you couldn't. It's not like you can't open up the Bible and find a bunch of sex-starved, rapist-ass, motherfucking cheaters all up in there. So you can easily use the Bible as a motherfucking reference. But you chose not to. So I ain't got nothing to do with it. Listen, so I don't want to hear that shit now. Miss me with the bullshit. Miss me with the bullshit. And like Renee said, we talked last night about this shit, and yeah, this ain't a new position of mine, but this is one that actually does apply today. I don't feel sorry for his motherfucking wife. Nor should any of you motherfuckers. Should none of you fuckers feel sorry for that motherfucker? And y'all should definitely not feel sorry for the wife either. Because after hearing what I heard yesterday about Derrick getting caught cheating on her before they got married years ago, then turned around, married the motherfucker, got pregnant, married the motherfucker, then he cheats again. Don't feel sorry for her. Like Renee says, I have a rule of thumb. I feel bad for a motherfucker the first time you get cheated on. You get one time per relationship for me to feel bad for you if you get cheated on. Anytime after that, you on your motherfucking own. You are on your motherfucking own. I retract any empathy or sympathy I may have for you. I am emotionless to any digressions that may happen with you and your fucking husband, any entanglements y'all might be going through. I'm emotionally dead on you because you went back. He cheated on you, you went back, and the motherfucker cheated on you again. Okay, and I'm supposed to feel bad for you every time? He cheats on you, and then you go back and he cheats on you again, and then you go. How many times am I allowed to feel bad? At some point, you gotta tell these motherfuckers to go fuck themselves. They get one time for me to feel bad for them. That's it, motherfuckers. That's it. She done used up her one time before they got married. I don't give a fuck about anything that happened to her right now. That's on her. She knew what the fuck she was getting into when she married that motherfucker. She knew what it was. She knew he was a piece of shit, scumbag, lying online to millions of fucking women. Lying. She knew that. And she was good with him lying to him. She was good with these black men getting thrown under the bus knowing she's with the worst of them. She was good with that. She married that. She was his beard. She protected him. She helped give off that facade that he was the unicorn. Even though this dude is half naked in most of his goddamn pictures, acting like he's fucking single, trying to thirst trap these women when he's married. We know why now, though, don't we? Let's stop playing games. Let's stop playing games. I don't feel bad for neither one of these motherfuckers. I don't feel bad for none of these motherfuckers. Fuck both of them. They both hustlers. They gender hustling. Just like the rest of them. They gender hustling. Gender hustling is big business. And that's the fuck's going on right now. So don't feel bad for her. Don't feel bad for him. See the scam for what the fuck it is. Understand it's a scam. And stay clear of it. Stop listening to weirdos online who's just trying to tickle y'all ear. Saying everything you want to hear. If it sounds too good to be true, what? It probably isn't. Pay attention to who y'all listen to. They talking some wild ass shit and all they doing is trying to tickle your fucking ear. Don't take those fucking serious. They pandering for money. Possibly other things, like him. Feel me? Renee, you there? Renee, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, this whole thing is just crazy, y'all. It's just so crazy. Like I said, there's so many like teachable moments, I guess, out of this whole thing. But I think Derrick Jaxn definitely has a future. I think that he will be exposed again. I don't, questions can be asked on whether cheaters can recover, so to speak. And in that Breakfast Club clip that Psycho played, you heard Charlamagne talking about since October of 2016, he hasn't played on his wife, and then Envy was like, oh, it's been longer than that for me or whatever like that. And by the way, like, you don't get no damn pat on the back. Like they was that's like
motherfuckers said, I take care of my kids.
Yeah,
I've been taking care of my kids for the last 6 years.
Yep. You supposed to.
And your kid 13. What was you doing? What was you doing before that?
Yeah, like, okay. That's the first thing that came in my mind that whole thing of like, I take care of my kids. Newsflash, you're supposed to. I ain't cheated on my wife. It's gonna be 5 years. Newsflash, you're not supposed to cheat on your wife, honey. Like, you saying that like that's supposed to be some accomplishment that people supposed to pat you on your back for, and people supposed to cheer you. Woo, yeah, that's right, Charlamagne. Yes, honey, and envy. No, like, that's something, you know, between you and your wife. And that's something, you know, personal in that sense. Because as far as I know, they're not relationship gurus. So that's on some whatever, you know, that's y'all thing. But honey, ain't nobody, regardless, like, you don't get no damn pat on the back because you've been faithful to your wife. Like, really? I don't know. It's so many conversations because I'm seeing people talk about how I've seen different people talking about how women
these conversations on this chat. You know my opinion on that. You already know my opinion on it.
Yeah, and I hold that same position. Yeah, like, if somebody cheats on you, it needs to be over because it's the trust is gone. The trust is broken. And what will end up happening is either somebody gonna try to get somebody back, or that person will hold it over your head, or that person's gonna cheat again, which a lot of times all three of those things happen. So it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, once that trust is broken, now people do what you do. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like, and we've all been there, done that to some degree, not all, but a lot of people, where somebody cheated on you and y'all try to, baby, please, you know, whether it's a woman or man, even though women are more inclined to accept cheaters back. That is cultural. That is very much so cultural. That doesn't mean no men take women back that cheat. Be clear. I'm not saying that. But it is more common, and I'm not saying that women don't cheat and they don't get caught so the men don't know, and I'm not saying none of that. I'm saying people that are known to have cheated on their partner. It is more common for women to take men back. There's a certain level of pressure in society that women have, and a lot of it, in my opinion, is biblical based. A lot of that stuff comes from that mentality that, you know, well, a man, like the idea of like a man, you know, he the flesh is weak. You know what I'm saying? The flesh is weak, and you know, he fell victim to a Jezebel, and you know, and you supposed to be a long-suffering woman, a long-suffering wife, and he done cheated on you, and you should, you know, take him back and give him another chance, and he's human. You know, the whole human thing. We all make mistakes, you know, pray on it. Like, they put a lot of pressure like that on women, on Black women in the religion world and whatnot, in society in general, but that's a big part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, she gotta pray on it. A lot of them women who you be seeing in church all the time up there praying, baby, they husbands be cheating, be having all kind of side babies and everything. And that's been true in the Black community for a long time, back to grandmamas, okay? And, you know, you supposed to just, you know, pray on it and ask God to, you know, help you, see you through, and all of this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like people do what you do. Like, that lady made a choice. She's staying with him or whatever. But in my opinion, you know, if you're asking me, and right now, you know, this is our show, so we give it our opinion. For me, yes, you need to leave. You need to leave.
That's my position, and you did a good job breaking down the same way I feel on this, because I feel the same way. If regardless who gets caught, whether it's the man, the woman, whoever, break it off, because it what are you holding on to? Like, ultimately, like she said, you know, the trust is gone. You know, if y'all get back together, you best believe it's never going to be the same. It's never going to be the same. I don't care how you try to spin it. I don't care how y'all try to play it in public and everything else. That shit's always going to be in the back of your mind. That shit's always going to irk at you. Depending on who it is they cheated with, it's going to fuck with you even more. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, with somebody who is, like, within your circles or was in your circles or a family member or some shit like that, that shit's really going to rub you the fucking wrong way. Opposed to if it's somebody that you don't know, somebody met like online that maybe live like in another state or some shit like that. Even then you got to deal with the online bullshit and everything. Like, so yeah, like it's too much shit out there. It's like, and I feel like when people get back together in those situations, people don't always agree with me on this, but that's just the way I feel. I feel like a lot of times when people get back together after somebody caught somebody cheating, it's a lot of ulterior motives behind that, right? It's deeper than just, oh, well, I love him and I don't want to see him leave. Or I love her and I don't want to see her leave. No, it's usually ulterior motives behind these things, right? And one of the most notorious ulterior motives that both sides play, I know, being that women are normally the main ones who take back the cheater, is mainly the women who play this. So, but one of the main things they play when they do take the man back is they like to, you know, they know if they take that man back, you know, they gotta, you know, a fuck a dude for free card, right? They got the I can go fuck a dude for free card, right? Like, I'm gonna take you back. I'm gonna deal with the bullshit. You know, you fuck me over, blah, 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 everything else, you better change, and, you know, everything else. If I catch you again, I'm gone for real. You know, y'all hit him with all that shit, everything else. But you best believe, while they saying all this shit to you Negroes, they grabbing that, I'm gonna fuck me a nigga for free card. They slide that shit right there in their back pocket, and they keep that shit tucked away. They get back in their fucking spot, they find the safe. They open that motherfucking safe up. They throw that motherfucking I gonna fuck a nigga for free card and throw that bitch up in there, lock that motherfucking safe. Click, ching, motherfucker. And keep that shit there. That shit might sit there for a week. It might sit there for a month. It might sit in that safe for a year. It might sit in that safe for a decade. But you best believe that I'm gonna go fuck me a nigga for free card. You best believe that shit ain't got no expiry date. As long as you fuckers are in a relationship, she knows. She got that I can go fuck me a nigga for free card. Because you got caught doing shit. So what the fuck are you gonna say to her if she gets caught? So, yeah. Why put yourself through all that? Just break it off. Don't even set yourself up, because that's what you setting yourself up for. And dudes know this too, because I done seen dudes that get caught and they girl take them back and everything else, and these dudes stressed. These dudes be stressed the entire time because they know they girl got that I can go fuck me a nigga for free card. So now they all on her now. Now they stalking her. They want to know everything she's doing, everywhere she's going, blah, 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 blah. Because they know they fucked up. And now she got that card. And motherfuckers don't want her to cash that card out. And she's going to cash that bitch out in one day. You best believe that shit. She's going to cash that bitch out. And dudes be on it. So it's like, why stress yourself out? Just be done. Just be done. Don't even do it to yourself. Don't even do it to yourself, dog. That's why I was like, yo, listen, she caught you? Oh, you might as well go ahead and break up. Break up. Nah, man, I think I can still get her to stay. You know, it's that third, blah, 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 blah. I don't think she gonna go nowhere, bruh. Leave, bruh. Like, Don't do it. Don't do it, motherfucker. Nah, everything be all right, man. I got this, man. I got this. They get up all up in their ego. They get all up in their ego and shit. She know where it's good at. She ain't going nowhere. Anything else. She ain't gonna go out and do this, that, and third. She know it's good at. Ain't nobody hitting it like that and all that shit. Yeah, all right, motherfucker. Yeah, all right. You do what I do, you would know. You better break up with her, bro. I'm telling you. You better break up with her. This is a setup. This is a setup. You know what I mean? So yeah, so don't even so I don't give a fuck, but dudes get up in their egos. Dudes get up in their egos. Dudes' egos be their worst downfall all the time. I tell motherfuckers this, man. Y'all gotta learn to check y'all egos. Y'all egos is probably one of the main things that's hindered you in life, is that fucking ego. That whole ego with it, my girl know where it's good at and she'll never. That shit hinders Negroes. That shit have motherfuckers going through fucking red pill rage online, cursing out every fucking black avatar they fucking see. Like that's what got them motherfuckers in that place, that dark place that you see them in online and shit like that. That was ego. Ego got them motherfuckers there. These were a bunch of motherfuckers. I'm sure that more than a little bit, these motherfuckers had that ego. Thought everything was all sweet. Didn't think she'll cash that card out on their ass. And that card got cashed the fuck out. And they found out about it. They went back, go check that fucking safe, because they found out the motherfucking code to get inside the safe. The motherfucker, she went off to work, he stayed home. He went up in the safe to go check real quick while she was at work, opened it up, that bitch was gone. That I'm gonna fuck a nigga with a free card was gone. That motherfucker heart dropped. Big ass, his motherfucking throat just got swollen up and shit, like he can't even swallow. Whole motherfucking heart just plummeted. Like, where the fuck that card at? I know she ain't fucking around to cash that motherfucker out. Where that fucking card at? Where that motherfucker over here looking under the dresser, flipping over mattresses, everything else? Like, I know, like that card, boy, she better have that card. She better have that card in her purse when she get back here. When she get back here, that card better be her purse. I don't know why the fuck she taking that shit out the house. Why the fuck you taking that? I'm gonna fucking nigga with a free card out the house. What you up to? What you over there doing? Know what I mean? Like, be on that shit, man. Like, I'm telling you, man, break up, dog. Break up. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it. Know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying. It's not a good thing.
But don't do it in the first place. Like, in terms of the cheater, don't cheat on somebody.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But if we run into those situations, is what I'm saying. I'm just talking about if the situation occurs where somebody, whether it be the man or the woman, they get caught or whatever, because it goes the same way. Don't get it fucked up. A man will take a woman back, and he will take, I'm gonna go fuck me a chick for free card and put that shit in his fuking safe. And so, like, don't get it fucked up. Guys, I'm not saying no.
I said that I'm not saying no men do that, but most men don't. And that's my thing, is that a lot of women
do. I'm just talking about the ones who do.
Oh, okay.
They got that card in that safe. They got that card in that safe. Trust me. Right.
And while I don't disagree with what you're saying in terms of, like, you know, some women, you know, do, you know, have that card and will use it and everything. And the whole thing is not getting caught with it, not getting caught using it. Because here's the thing, a lot of women, I'm gonna just keep it a buck, and this is my opinion, a lot of women who get cheated on would never cheat on the man. And one of the reasons why is because women know that if you cheat on a man and you get caught, whether he cheated on you before or not, he's out of there. Most men, not all, but most men, even if he cheated on you, that don't mean a mother freaking thing. He's out of there. You a hoe, you a whore, you a slut, you a thought, you a tramp, you everything under the sun. And he could have been out here having side babies. He could have been out here hitting all kind of chicks, hitting your cousin, the girl up the street, the damn chick on his job, and you found out and you stayed with him. And then you go try to cash in that card and end up getting caught or something get leaked back to him or whatever the case may be. And honey, it's wraps. So I think a lot of women that get cheated on, you're definitely right in the sense that it's some women who get cheated on who stay and they like, yeah, okay, all right, that's what's up. And then a lot of women that get cheated on, they self-esteem be so low, they wouldn't cheat on them. They still wouldn't cheat on and I'm not saying they should, because, you know, like we said, if people get cheated on or whatever, it's best to just leave the relationship altogether. But even yet and still, it's some women that are with a man and they found out that he cheated on them, been cheating or whatever, or even had a side baby, and they would never even attempt on any level to cheat on him. And some of that is because, well, I know if I get caught, he's leaving me. He's gonna leave me. He's out of there. And I think that it is a lot of pressure for Black women, especially, to have a man, to keep a man, you know, to keep your baby daddy with you, or to keep your husband with you, or keep your boyfriend with you. It's a lot of pressure because it's always stuff about, you know, it's more women than men. It's always, you know, the idea more so of the side chick versus the side dude, but women definitely have side dudes too. Women cheat too. I'm not saying women don't cheat or anything like that. But I think for women, it's more pressure to keep a man than it is for men to keep a woman. So even in the cases of some of the cases of men cheating on a woman, that woman still wouldn't cheat on that man. She still wouldn't, because she still will have too much fear that she'll lose the man. Even though he's a cheater, even though he could have done all of this stuff, it's still more important to try to make it look like your relationship is staying together, to try to keep him. And like me and you have talked before, and like you said this, to best the other woman. Well, she ain't gonna get him. Well, she ain't gonna get him. So that mentality is there too.
Yeah, that's the female ego. That's when the female ego kicks in, because the female ego is a motherfucker too, because that you get a lot of that, that could be what's going on right now. It was just like you just said, like, you know, like the woman, like, you know, like, okay, another woman's over here fucking my man. Fuck that. She not going to have my man. That's my shit, right? And her ego gets starts tripping, and she starts getting on some shit, like you were just saying. Oh, fuck that. She can't have him. You know, it's like, you know, like I'll break up with him in another year or two or something like that. But for right now, she can't have him. Like, you know, even if he moves on, he can move on 2 years from now, whatever the case may be, but it won't be with her.
That's right.
She can't have him. So that's when ego gets in the way. Yeah.
So it's a competition of like whose coochie's supposed to be better. You feel me? Like, who's a better woman? You know what I mean? He picked a better woman. I'm the better woman. I got this going for me, that going for me. I'm finer than her. I look better than her. My butt's bigger than her. My coochie's better than her. This, and that. Like, women, it's that whole type of dynamic there. And, you know, there is a kind of like an idea of like scarcity that's pushed in the Black community when it comes to Black men. You know, the whole thing for a long time, like when people will say like Black men are endangered species and stuff like that. When in all actuality, there are more Black women than men, but it's more women than men in every race. Like, that's not an uncommon thing, and it's still not, you know, I mean, we do have more disadvantages because of how the system does a lot of Black men, and that's different from other racial groups, so that's compounded, you know. But it's always been a scarcity type thing with Black men for a very long time. I mean, you could say going back to slavery for sure. So there's a scarcity mindset amongst Black women. So it's kind of like if you have a man, you want to keep him no matter what, you know, even if he cheat on you, even if he have a side baby. And like you said, some of that, sometimes a lot of that is the ego thing. Like, she ain't gonna get him. You feel me? I might find me somebody else in the future, but for right now, she ain't gonna get him. Like, I ain't gonna let him go back running over there to her. So, it's just so many different dynamics, you know, at play. And, you know, then people get into the conversation about, you know, polygyny or whatnot, which is the man having multiple wives or whatnot. And that's such a, you know, and I'm not even a person that shoots that down. I say, if it works for you, it works for you. It ain't for me, but you do what's best for you. And it's not legal. So it's not smart in society, because you had this man and he had these other women, and men typically, on average, do not live as long as women. Women outlive men overwhelmingly, most of the time. So women tend to, that's one of the ways, like with white women, how white women inherited, most of their wealth is inherited. It's inherited from husbands that they passed down, or from fathers and stuff like that. But anyway, that's a different conversation. But men tend to, you know, but it figures into this situation, because if a man passes, and men tend to pass sooner than women, right? So you have these wives, right? This is not legally recognized in this society. And then you pass away, it's going to be the number one wife, the initial wife, because you can only be legally married one time. So it's going to go to her. And do you think these women are going to say, I had to endure him being with other women, having other wives. I had to get down with stuff that he wanted, and now I'm supposed to split this money equally? Like, you got to rely on her for the most part, because it's going to be certain things he can't necessarily determine. He might have a will where he can determine certain things, but let's say an accident happens or any other kind of variable. And so you're then got to deal with splitting this up, or like his pension, like different things like that. And now you got to rely on the first wife, the number one wife, the bottom chick. You got to rely on her to look out for the quote other wives and whatnot. The other children may get something because they were actually, you know, his descendants or whatnot. But the other women, honey, look, you ain't really got nothing coming. And depending on how old he was when he passed, I mean, not how old he was, but how old the children are, yeah, the wife it ain't even a question. So it's not smart, in my opinion, in this society at all. If people choose to get down like that, like you hear now a lot about like the thruples or whatever, where it's like one man and two women or whatever. And instead of it being a couple, it's a thruple. And all of that stuff is insane to a large degree. While I just said, if people want to do it, do you, boo. But
I'm not here to judge motherfuckers on the type of relationships they choose to have. You know, if you choose to have a polygamous relationship, whatever the case may be, do you. More power to you. I can't deal with that shit. Me personally, I can't deal. Listen, one woman is a fucking headache. I refuse to have about 3 or 4 of those motherfuckers. Y'all motherfuckers, I'm sorry. I ain't got that. I'm getting older now. I ain't got that much energy.
One
I'm
woman's
sorry.
a headache.
I ain't, nah, man, that's too much, bro. Like, what the fuck? That's headaches, man. It's fucking headaches. Dealing with all these, like, that's headaches. People just thinking about, you know, shit popping off at night and everything else. You know what? Never mind. I'm about to start talking too much. We ain't getting this ain't no Patreon stream, but yeah, like motherfuckers, like they gotta like, yeah, nah, man, I ain't dealing with all them motherfucking different. Nah, that's too much, man. That's too much.
I mean, yeah, that's basically what they be thinking about. You feel me? They be thinking a lot of the men are thinking about sex, and then a lot of the women that's down with it, they thinking about that too, because some of them, you know what I'm saying, they flip flop, whatever. They deal with ladies too, if you know what I'm saying. So some of them may be thinking in that aspect, but typically, let's be honest, it's for the men. Let's be honest, let's keep it a buck here. It's for men. And so a lot of the men,
some women want that too. Now, don't get it twisted.
I said most of the time. I didn't say no. Women. I'm just saying most of the time.
Yeah, because you got women out here who are searching, who are in search to be a sister wife.
And but also I think that while they're, you know, what you said is true for some women, I think though for some women who that is true for, they're still doing it for the man. They're still doing it to try to keep him. They're still doing it to make him happy. And it's like, that's what he wants. Okay, well then we can get down with that. Okay, well, cool.
I was talking about the ones that was like putting the application to be the sister wife, right? Like not the original wife, not the bottom, but the ones that like, you know, putting the applications trying to become the sister wife to be a part of, you know, the extended couple.
Right. Okay, I got you. Yeah, because it's like, I think the appealing part, because you would kind of have to ask what's appealing about it for the different people, because what I think will be most appealing about it for a lot of the men, and this is just my opinion, and I'm not saying all men or whatever, but I'm just saying I think that for a lot of them, it's a sexual aspect. It's for to get down with it. You know what I'm saying? That you got these two women that's supposed to be your wives, or multiple women or whatever it's supposed to be. That's supposed to be your wives, and y'all gonna get it popping. I can mess with y'all all at the same time, even though a lot of these people claim that don't happen. I don't buy that. But
let me say this real quick. Nobody's saying anything's wrong with sex. Did anybody over here say anything's wrong with sex?
Who said that?
Yeah, I don't think nobody said that. Maybe they took something I said out of context, and when I said having multiple wives is too much, I'm not even talking about the sexual aspect of it. That's what you think I'm talking about. That's what your head is at, which only further validates my point. When motherfuckers think this is a great thing, they only thinking about sex. They not thinking about the other things that come along with that. You know, because you got to deal with all these multiple personalities and all these different types of headaches, and it's a lot more than just sex. But like I said, we ain't talking about one-offs. We ain't talking about you just, you know, you and a couple of motherfuckers just decide to do some Netflix and chill and y'all just getting it in. I ain't talking about that. We talking about a relationship. We talking about motherfuckers, a polygamous relationship, like motherfucking multiple wives. That's what we're talking about. So no, we're not just talking about sex. We're talking about everything, including everything outside of sex, which is what people don't think about.
Exactly. Because nobody can have sex 24/7, 365. That's not gonna happen. Okay. Most men can only have sex for a few minutes anyway at a time. So you gotta live all the rest of your time doing other things. Like, how y'all gonna live and eat if you just having sex all the time? So people think about the sex portion, but they don't think about everything else that comes with it. And or if they do, the idea of the sex of it all outweighs everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more enticing to have multiple women than it is to think about you gotta deal with multiple women. Like, you gotta deal with multiple baby mamas. You gotta deal with, essentially, you gotta deal with the cost of that, what that means, and people's feelings and emotions and attitudes and different changes people go through, and making sure you show more affection to all of them on the no man can do that. Like, that's an impossibility. Somebody's gonna be shortchanged somewhere. Like, that's just what it is, you know. But if the people involved are willing for that experience, hey, more power to you. I'm just saying, I don't think it's a smart thing, but it's to each his own on that aspect.
Yeah, to each his own. To each his own. You know, I ain't telling nobody not to do it, whatever. If that's what they want to do it. I'm just saying they better be thinking more than just that though, because that's if you want your shit to work, you better be thinking more than just that, because that's one thing that's going to come. That's going to come with the territory, but it's going to be other things that come with that territory that people ain't thinking about. People ain't thinking about. Like the rule of thumb is you ain't supposed to have more wives than you can afford anyway, right? So you got to be kicking out some money to have all these motherfucking wives, because you got to support these wives, right? Because a lot of these motherfuckers who are in these relationships, they doing this on a spiritual level, right? They following certain doctrines, right? Like you got, they Muslim or Hebrew, whatever the case may be. Like, there's some spiritual shit they got going on, right? These ain't a bunch of non-believers that are doing this, right? This ain't a bunch of atheists and a bunch of agnostics. No, these are motherfuckers who are mainly spiritual people that are doing this on a quote unquote spiritual level, which means you're going to have to conduct it as such. So, like, a lot of people just ain't, like I said, they just don't think this stuff out. But, but some do. Some do think it out. And so I know a few people that's in polygamous relationship. One of them actually worked, and they actually been in it for a while. I haven't now, well, at least from the last time I spoke to them. I haven't spoken to them in some years. But from the last time, but they was in it for about a decade, right? They was in it for about a decade. And, I ain't speak to them in a few years now, but still, it was working still up to that point. So I've seen them work, but, I've also seen them not work, and it's, so, like I said, feelings start getting involved, all types of stuff. You got to deal with all this craziness. Sometimes the women think they know what they signed up for. Come to find out they didn't really know what they were signing up for. And then, and then that becomes a problem, and it's just issues, right? So yeah. It's each his own. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just saying, if you're gonna do it, think it out. Think it out outside of just sex.
And Phobos, I hear what you're saying. That's a European concept. And yeah, you're absolutely right. The man has to be able to afford them because there's rules to it. And see, that's the thing. Like you said, was saying other countries. We are in America, so we are under America's laws. We have been socialized here. And so this society is not set up for polygyny. It's not set up for there to be multiple wives. So, whereas you may live in another country, certain African countries or Arab countries or something like that, where their laws and their society is set up to encompass a man having multiple women. And then there are certain rules and laws, like you can only have as many wives as you can afford. And a lot of times when I hear a lot of these guys, that like, I'm saying like, brothers or whatnot, speaking on this, like Psycho said, a lot of them are people that is spiritually based or whatever. But a lot of these dudes are not coming from a position of, I'm working, I got this amount of money, I'm doing this, and I'm taking care of all these women. No, they want the women to work. They want the women to provide. They want this to be, instead of 50-50, what? 25, 25, 25, 25. You feel me? Like, it's not based on, I'm this man with money and I can afford to have these wives and these children and I can afford to take care of all of them. A lot of these dudes, and it was I'm not gonna go into it, but years ago I did a show interviewing somebody, and I remember I asked them, I said, so how is that not pimping? Just a question, because this person explained to me, this guy explained to me that all the women work and he don't work. And that, most of his time is spent doing the ministry or whatever the case may be. But all the women work like 9-to-5 jobs. And all the women have different houses, and those women are providing for those houses and everything. So he basically gets to go from house to house to house to house, okay? And spend time, however much time there is he want or whatever, however that works. And I'm kind of like, isn't that kind of like pimping to some degree? Because The women are working, but they're affording him a lifestyle financially and affording him a home to be able to come to so he can do his ministries or whatever. Huh? Like, that's crazy to me. Like I said, for those women, girl, do your thing. To the brother, do your thing. But to me, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy. Like, if you ain't, so what is the benefit for the woman? Because you're getting a piece of a man. Let's be very clear. You're getting a piece, and you could say a certain piece, of a man. And then you still are on a certain timetable because it's going to be based on a certain schedule. Because that's the whole thing, is you got to share your man. So what is the benefit to the woman? Because if on Tuesday night, on Monday night, you're at wife number one's house, you at Shaquisha's house on Monday night, and then on Monday night though, I'm over here with the kids and somebody try to break in the house or something. What you gonna do about it? You over there with Shaquisha and y'all kids or whatever. What you gonna jump and run? By the time you get there, I could have called the police, all of that. Like, you're not here. You're not here, and you're sharing, you're sharing your man, essentially. And what are you getting at? Like, what are you, besides that little period of time, because you're splitting it up between multiple women and multiple households? And let's not forget his duty to his children. You want him to be able to spend time with his children and be involved in their activities and keeping up with what's going on with them. So how can he, if he's a good dad and everything, which, I would think you wouldn't want to be with a man who's not a good father, and he's active in his child's life. Like, how does that lend time for all of these multiple women? Like, it's enough for people who are, husband and wife with children, and like, let's say their kids like play baseball or basketball or football, and they're in activities and stuff, and you got that going on. And most of the time dads are especially involved in like sports and stuff. And so he's doing things, with his children. Like, how does that even itself out? Like, again, somebody's going to get shorted. Somebody's are going to be shorted in some type of capacity. It's just inevitable. And you have to be willing as a woman to accept that. You just really, really do. You got to go into the situation knowing, I'm going to get a piece of a man. I'm not going to get my own man. I'm going to get a piece of a man I'm sharing with these other women. He's not going to be all mine, because certain nights he going to be with her. Certain days he going to be with her. Certain times it ain't going to be just us and our children. It's going to be him with his other children with other women too. So, and if you having babies with more than one woman, it's going to be a lot of children that multiply pretty quickly. Because instead of, you with one woman and she's going to be only able to have a baby, once every 9 months, and then you shouldn't have a baby more than once. You shouldn't have a baby more than any shorter than a year, which they say. So that shouldn't even be going down. So it's going to be more time space. But if you have multiple women that you can be pregnant or be getting pregnant, it's going to be this baby's born then, that baby's born, that baby, and then you already have children, and then it's just a lot. And then all them people got to be taken care of and have a decent home and food to eat and utilities and everything else. So yes, I guess I am selfish. I guess I am not a team player. I guess you could say that. But I want to ask the men. So what do y'all think about, you know what I'm saying? polygamy, or for women it's called, for men alone it's called polygyny, and for women alone it's called polygamy. Implies men and women, so I'll just say polygamous. What do you men think about polygamous relationships with women? Like, can women have multiple D's?
I ain't with that shit. If other motherfuckers want to deal with it, that's on them, to each his own. I'm telling you, I wouldn't tolerate that shit. No, that's just me. You know, if other motherfuckers out there want to tolerate that shit, hey, just like the other way, just like with the other shit, to each his own. Whatever. I can't do it. I'm not doing that shit. I ain't gonna be a part of somebody's concubine. I'm cool on that. I ain't trying to nah. I'm all right. You go ahead.
So wait a minute. She can't have multiple. She can't have a different D every day of the week.
If she can find dudes who's with that, that's on her. I mean, she can. I'm just saying, I ain't gonna be one of the dudes in that cipher. I'm not gonna be in that cipher. I'm cool on that.
She can't rotate D's. Okay, I feel you.
I ain't fucking around that. What we talking about here?
Thank you.
Rotating D. We ill. No.
What? What do you mean ill? Rotating.
What do you mean? What do you mean ill? What do you mean? What do you mean ill?
What do you mean? Is rotating tutus ill? Is that ill?
Might be to you.
I mean, you running up in different women, it's different infections and all kind of stuff women can get from me running around doing
if you said ill, I ain't gonna side-eye you. But why you sitting up here trying to side-eye me for saying ill about both of those penises going in and out of the same coochie I'm hitting? That's disgusting. Ill. What the hell is that? No. Fuck that. I don't want no parts of that. I don't want what them dudes got. None of this other shit. I don't want no worn out coochie and shit all dried the fuck up. She been getting dug out all week long and shit. Like, man.
Wait
Fuck out of here.
All
that caked up semen all up in there. I'm cool on that. I don't want no parts of that coochie. I'm good on that.
You need to stop, because I'm gonna say this. Because in general, well, I can understand what you're saying in terms of, I guess you want that to be your woman. Because men don't give a damn about a woman having gotten down with another dude if it was the day before. If he hitting it or whatever, but like I said, I can understand that wouldn't be your woman. You would think that about them. You would want your woman to, but men don't be caring about if they done hit other dudes done hit it and stuff the day before or day earlier. They just gonna be like, she a hoe and still
mad. Nah, dudes care. Dudes don't want to know that shit. Dudes don't want to know that shit.
What?
No. Dudes don't want to know. Dudes do not want to know that shit. Dudes do not want to know how many dudes you hit up this week before me and you fuck. Like, dudes don't want to know that.
Okay, so let me ask you a
dudes
question.
Don't even ask that question. I don't even know no dudes even ask those shit like that. Like, you know, like how many dudes you fuck this week or whatever. Like I don't know too many women who would even indulge that information. Most women would lie any fucking way. Like, so yeah, what's best? What I don't know won't hurt me. Like, that's what the guys. But we talking about relationships here. That's a little bit different.
But wait a minute. If that were true, prostitutes wouldn't be a booming bit. Prostitution wouldn't be a booming business for men.
Yeah, that's different. They know what they're getting into with that. They know what they're getting into with that.
But I'm saying though, men don't really mind.
But they still don't. Even when they go to the prostitutes, even when they go to the prostitutes, though, Renee, they don't sit up here and get the motherfuckers money. And be like, wait. They don't get the girl money and be like, how many dudes you fucked today? Before me and you about to do it? They don't want to know. They don't want to know. They know she was fucking, but they don't want to know how many dicks they sucked today.
Right.
That's not. They really don't want to know all that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not talking about him asking her how many D's do you. But he knows she done sucked D today. He knows she done got hit off or whatever.
That's what he signed up for, right? But we're not talking about a prostitute though. We're not talking about a prostitute. Like, he knows what he signed up for with that.
But I'm just saying, if men was really that much against hitting women that done, you know what I mean, done got it popping
Some
with
dudes
dudes
are.
earlier that day.
That's why every
The
dude don't fuck
prostitution
with
business
prostitutes.
wouldn't exist.
That's why every dude don't fuck with prostitutes, because some dudes are thinking just say what we're talking about. Who the fuck want to fuck that chick who done popped so much shit up in her fucking mouth since this morning? Like, so, like, nah, like a lot of dudes like, nah, I think I'm cool on that. Some dudes don't give a fuck, and they go out there and do what they do, but they know what they signed up for when they do that.
I can never understand how, like, men will pick up a woman on the street. Like, it's one thing if you get with a woman who's like a hoe on the low or something like that, but a woman who's like on the street and you know she hopping in and out of cars, or she's an escort or whatever you want to call it, and you know like that she, like, that's her job, okay? Like, she get it popping, like, that's her job. Like, ew, that's just so gross to me. Like, ugh, I'm sorry. Ew.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Guys don't want to know though. Guys, they know that she done probably did whatever, but they ain't asking. they not asking. They don't want to know. Motherfuckers just don't want to know.
Yeah. And then that's a certain type of man that's doing that. That's a dirty.
Right. That's not a lot of motherfuckers don't even fuck around because they know she done did all that. Like, you know, motherfuckers looking for something a little bit different. You know, that's a lot of time motherfuckers be tricking. That'd be a last resort shit. You know.
So what? Like a
except for the motherfuckers who's like addicted to that shit and like that's just what they do. You know, but again, we talking about a small portion of motherfuckers, but you know that but most motherfuckers who trick, they doing that. It's like last resort, like they can't find nothing else, and they gave up for the night or whatever the case may be. and they go do whatever they do. You know what I mean? And in that moment, they not thinking or asking how many dicks or whatever this chick done sucked me that day or whatever. It ain't that deep.
Oh man, cause that's gross. Because I mean, this is just separate. I mean, this is something I've always wondered though. Like, do men, like, I'm saying men who do. I'm not asking you. I'm just speaking out loud. Like, I'm not saying like, but like, do men who like they pick up women or whatever like that? Like, like. Do they hold their nose or they don't care, or like, cause a woman, you can't tell me, like she jumping in and out of cars, or like she ain't out there cleaning herself and hold on, let me go home and take a shower before I go back out here. Like, hell no, she ain't doing no damn mouthwash, and she out there with a toothbrush. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's she like? She out there with a damn toothbrush and some damn Listerine in between cars? Like, no. Like, this is funny, man. I was just like, and it's gross. Like, ew.
That's just hilarious.
She out there with some damn, hold on, let me brush my teeth real quick and gargle real quick. In between cars, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the pimp come
they
through.
trying to fuck up everybody trick experiences up.
Hey, I'm just saying the pimp rolled through and he, you know, the pimp's car be to the side or something, and she jumped in there and he got all her toiletries in there. And she brushed her teeth and gargle and stuff. Hell not, like, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy as hell. She been gargling all right. Ew. But anyway. Okay. Yeah.
We done got it. We up here talking about prostitutes and mouthwash. I think the show is about, you know, jump the shark at this point. I think.
Okay.
I think it's safe to say the show done jumped the shark at this motherfucking point.
You know what? I would ask that, you know, that channel that we be watching sometimes. It's this channel, y'all.
You be watching all the time.
You be watching
the damn video.
Oh, you don't be watching it?
Yeah, I watched some of them, but
okay,
yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, so it's this channel, y'all. Y'all probably heard of it. And I don't like the channel, but at the same time, I do watch some of those stories because it is very interesting. And I was crying one time. I sent this video, this girl, I was crying. Was she 14? Oh man, this black girl. She was 14. Oh man, I was boo-hooing. But it's called Soft White Underbelly. Y'all probably done seen it's got like black and white like thumbnails or whatever. And it's like people on the streets and stuff. And I guess I could ask on one of those videos, a prostitute video, like ask them that, like, do y'all keep like toothpaste and like y'all keep toothpaste, toothbrush and mouthwash with y'all? Like, I guess I could see if somebody answer, but yeah. Yeah.
Renee, yeah. Renee is silly mode right now,
I
yo.
came in at a weird part.
Yeah, the show definitely jumped the shark. The lady said, we in the show when it get good. We never get through discussing Bigfoot and prostitution.
Oh man, oh man, you ain't never lying. Oh man, but yeah, I'm in here clowning y'all, but yeah. So I think we done did our thing. I think this story is gonna keep going on for a little while because all the gender banging different positions are gonna be taking their side. The Team Jackson, the people who want to go in on the girl, the lady or whatnot, it's gonna still be going on for a minute. But like he said, y'all, he's like, oh, when this die down, he already plotting, planning, scheming. He already know what it is. He already played his guy card. He already played his heal together card in this book and all this stuff. He ain't even that word. He ain't that word. Now he is pressed enough to where he had to speak on it though. He's pressed enough to where he's had to speak on it multiple times, and it ain't over. And he gonna go on somebody's podcast. Y'all mark my words. He gonna go on the Breakfast Club. They may have him come on or whatever. He's gonna go on a big platform.
Nappy said the wife done already made another video. I bet you she did up this time. I bet you, hey Nappy, I bet you she did up this time too, ain't she? I bet you she done went to this beauty salon, got her hair did, nails did, done threw on a good dress, everything. I bet you she looked 1,000 times better today. I bet you. Tell me I'm lying, Nappy. Tell me I'm lying. I bet you she looked better today. What you saying?
Nappy, where's the what platform is it on?
Yeah, is it on Derrick Jaxn shit? Let me know if it's on Derrick Jaxn shit. I bet you she look 1,000 times better today.
Who they talking about? R.I.P. Pops. Who died?
What happened?
Oh, that man from I don't know, some white man, George Segal or something.
Is that the channel name? Still Frumpy? Frumpy?
No, he's saying she's still Frumpy. I was like, dang, that's messed up if that's her channel name, Still Frumpy. Damn.
Oh, it's on Tasha K. Oh, okay. All right. Wait, hold on. She did. Well, huh? Oh, Tasha K showed the video, probably. Okay, that's probably what you mean. I'm about to say, hold on, I know she ain't on Tasha K. I'm about to say, wait, what?
Wait, Rasheed said is the bonnet off. You know what? That damn bonnet. Did you hear Angela Yee? She said she had a bonnet on. I died when she said that. I died. I'm like, oh, that was so damn petty. She's like, she had a bonnet on. Like, oh man.
Elgin Bella died. Yeah, rest in peace, man. Legend. Word up, legend. He got done dirty out by the Clippers too. I remember the Clippers did him dirty, motherfucking racist ass down in Sterling. Doing Elton Bella dirty. Yeah, rest in peace to Elton Bella, legend and shit. Used to play for the Lakers.
Derrick been having Sorry Miss Jackson on repeat for the last.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was done when you played that. I was like, oh man.
You already. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I guess we go ahead.
She is a beautiful lady. You know,
she's not ugly. She was.
Yeah, not at all.
She played herself getting on camera on this video that's going viral, looking the way she looked. Like, I'm just saying, you know, and I'm not a person. You know, I ain't trying to judge nobody. Now I'm just saying, you know, like she literally looked like she just rolled over and got out of bed. Like,
but she does come across as more matronly or more kind of frumpy. Like, for her to be a young woman, like she's a young woman. And your husband is all about looks and appearance, and then for you to kind of represent yourself looking a certain way you do, it's kind of like, it's kind of just like I said, interesting. Like it seems intentional. So, but yeah, anywho, but yeah, y'all, I appreciate y'all, love y'all. I am hungry. I have not had any dinner, but love y'all, you know, and I will see y'all on the next one, maybe Thursday, perhaps. We'll see what's popping, but yeah, y'all, stay black, stay black and proud, okay?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, definitely, family. Do me a favor, if you haven't already. Please click like, share, and subscribe. You know what I mean? Very important that you click like. You know what I mean? Get us an algorithm. Very important that you share. Let people know we're breathing. It's also important that you subscribe. You know what I mean? So you can be on top of everything that we're doing over here. Also, if you click subscribe, please do me a favor and don't forget to hit that notification bell. You know what I mean? Very important that you hit the notification bell, because sometimes we might get shadow banned, and this might be the only way to find us is through notifications. Also, it's good to be a part of the notification gang so you can get up in here early and don't miss none of the bill. You know what I mean? And yeah, to my haters out there, y'all already know what it is. It's about that time. You know what I mean? If you know you had any issues or anything you heard tonight, any criticisms, or you know you got a problem with prostitutes not using toothpaste or whatever the case may be, you can express yourself now by clicking dislike. You should still share this motherfucker, and then you might want to unsubscribe. You know what I mean? Because you got any issues or anything you heard tonight, I already know you probably ain't on none of these right here. And Renee's silly as fuck for saying what she said. And yeah. Also, family, please consider becoming a Patreon. You know what I mean? Shout out to all my Patreon out there. If you do become Patreon, you have access to any stream I do, whether I keep it up or whether I take it down. I also have exclusive content on there. And I also have no limits on there. Whatever you feel like the channel's worth, that's what you donate. Shout out again on my Patreon out there. Appreciate all you. All donations given does go towards the production of the show, as always. And yeah, family, please follow me on Twitter and the gram at SYKOPATHeist, spelled the same way as the channel. Also, please subscribe to all our channels. That's very important, because sometimes we might have to channel hop. And if we do channel hop, you want to be able to find us. So please go into the description, find those links, and hit subscribe. And yes, as always, if you're looking for any graphics, artwork, designs, or logos, please consider hitting up our sister Renee at Renee Black Graphics on Facebook. Also, if you're looking for any t-shirts, hoodies or coffee mugs, all custom designs, please consider hitting up her store as well. Just like all the other links, please check the description box and you will find all the links that you're looking for right there. You can show our sister some love. And yeah, family. We gonna try to come back on Thursday. I'm not sure. But if not, then y'all definitely catch me on my Wake and Bake. I got an interview tomorrow. I'm supposed to be doing Brick City Legend. So be on the lookout for that. You know what I mean? So yeah. And let's see. That's about it. That's all. That's about it for the announcement. So yeah, and I got another interview next week with another hip hop legend. That's gonna be on Monday. So be on the lookout for that. That's gonna be on this channel on Monday. So yeah, that's it for the announcements for now. And family. You know what I mean? I want to shout out everybody that came through. Appreciate all y'all. Shout out to My D. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody that was out in the clouds. I want to give a peace and black power to everybody. Holla black at your boy and your girl. We out.
Battle anybody, I don't care, you die. Battle anybody, I don't care, you die. Battle anybody, I don't care, you die.
Yeah.
Battle, I accept.
Yep.
They all fail.
Yep.
Gonna grab yourself double.
Let's go.